What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live July the 12th, Sunday. Yeah, we're going to have a good live tonight, guys. I appreciate all y'all coming in. Thank y'all so much. And yeah, it's going to be a great one. Let's see. Oh, all right, here we go. Here we go. How y'all doing today, guys? Go ahead, get in the comments and everything for me if you don't mind. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the live, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining in. Here we are, Sunday. Hope everybody's getting their maintenance done, getting ready for the next week. We are ready as always, guys. July the 12th. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, get in the comments. Tell me how your week is going. Tell me how your season is going. I like to know how your season is going. Just as always, guys, if you're in here and you want to join the live, pinned at the top, first comment, get in here. I invite anybody that wants to get in here and talk amongst us gentlemen about lawn care. Come on in here and let's talk about it. Put it in the comments. Let me know how your season's going. What's up, Mr. Myers? How you doing? Ready to build an ark here in Tennessee. A lot of rain and more coming for the next week. Hey, we're the same ways, guys. We got more rain. We had rain today, and we got rain coming in all week too, man. So we didn't get a big fix this mic and everything. Trying to get everything still set up and adjust. Make sure you can hear me good, guys, too, in the comments. We're trying to moving some stuff around in here, and I had some stuff change or whatever. So I'm trying to reset everything, get everything back as it's going. About to scooter ride, Lee. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I'll join the live here in a little while. I hear you, Chad. That's cool. Yeah. He said he might join in if needed. Hey, anybody's always welcome in the chat, on the live, whatever y'all want to do. I appreciate every single one of y'all watching. I don't do a whole lot of videos anymore, and I might have to do one, here or there just for YouTube's sake. But I actually thought about it, and y'all can put in the comments too, is there another day during the week that maybe the people that can't come in and join on Sunday, is there another day during the week that I can set up for a live? Because I'm not doing a whole lot of videos and stuff. Maybe I can set up, one more day out of the week that we can schedule in some people that just can't quite join on a Sunday. And I get it. Some days you're busier than others, and this might be busy for a lot of people. Church, getting prepared for the next week, because I'm the same way, when it comes to lawn care. That's what we got going on. So, but yeah, we had me and my wife took off, had a great weekend again. What's up, Tank? Glad you made it, dude. Yeah, appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate all y'all being here. Yeah, but we took off for the weekend, went to Mississippi again, had a good trip. Just me and her. Came home today, ran to my son's girlfriend, the one that's expecting. We're gonna be grandparents. It's her birthday today, so we took her to eat tonight. So we drove 3 hours from Mississippi all the way to go get something to eat, and we ate at one of them Japanese hibachi places where they cook in front of you. It's actually sticks. I don't know if a lot of y'all that are in here know what that is, what that restaurant is, but it's kind of where they chop it up and they make the little, things go around and crazy, and just show you they cook the food right in front of you and everything. So she had a great time. My kids had a great time. Me and my wife had a great time. So I'm a little. I was hoping we'd make it to the live, and we did. Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's a lot of commitment setting a date every week to be on this live for y'all and do it. I didn't think it was going to take so much of a commitment and everything, but really it is, and I'm appreciating all y'all joining in, giving me some love on the comments, because it's a lot of work to make yourself available at a certain time every week. I didn't know how it was going to do, but set aside from the family and all that on a Sunday night too, to be in here and, make this happen. And we have, guys, we have done really well. Our track record is really good since I started back doing it. So, and I owe all y'all, man, because y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me wanting to do it. Like I said, y'all give me a crap ton of comments. Y'all give me a crap ton of views. And, man, it's just great, man. I appreciate all y'all for that. So, yeah, thank you. Yes. Hibachi. That's what it is, Tank. Hibachi. Yeah, that's where we went and ate at. So, pretty cool, man. What's up, Dalton, man? Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you joining in. Yeah, awesome. Sounds like neat. What we got, Myers, right here. Check this out. Look, sounds like Lee needs a cup of coffee. Look at this. Boom, baby. I already got it, Myers. I already got it right here. About to do a little bit more sipping on it. Hey, I'm tired, man. We played last night. Drove in from Mississippi, 3.5 hour drive, and then went straight to eat somewhere. And after you eat, your belly's full. Drove home to make it to this live. So, yeah, I can get a little tired. That might be why I need the coffee tonight. You're right. Show us how they cook again. Where they yeah. Funny. See how she's getting on me already? She's tired too. She said she might go up there and go to sleep herself. So look at her getting all after me already. So I'm gonna buy him a new cup. Yeah, that cup's went through the dishwasher and everything a pretty good bit of times and everything. But hey, man, still keeps the coffee warm. Hey, it's good. Don't worry about it. It's nice. It's nice to have. So, guys, how have y'all's season been so far, guys? Or what's up, Jeff? I see you just clicked on here, man. Appreciate it, dude. Jeff, how has your season been going, man? Is equipment operating like you want it to? Is the schedules working out like you want it to? Tank, I know at the beginning of the year we talked about it. A lot of dry. Now we're fighting a lot of rain, and the grass is thick, and it's just getting harder and harder to get everybody. We're moving a lot of our customers to weekly right now, which is a lot of it is really unheard of, but the grass is growing so fast. It's raining almost every other day still. So with the rain, it's keeping everything green, keeping everything growing. And we're having to move some customers to weekly because it's like knee high to a grasshopper is what they say after about a week. So, you got to do something. What's up, Ray? Appreciate you being in here. You getting in that hot tub, or is it getting kind of a little too hot for the hot tub? Now you're starting to switch on over to that swimming pool. That's what I'm talking about. Swimming pool. Let's see. Tank said, My youngest boy started TikTok for my business, and it's doing pretty doggone good. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Jeff said it's been a pretty good year. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Loving it, loving it. We're about, where are we at right now? So we're at a little over half the year. Not quite, well, we're probably pretty close to half the year, maybe another month or so on the actual lawn business, guys. So this is kind of where you can look at and see. I know I'm trying to get everything adjusted. Sorry, guys. It's just bear with me. But pretty much half the year on what we're trying to do far as, you know, what we're going to profit this year, what we're going to make this year. So pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see what Dalton had to say. Been getting slammed with rain the last 2 weeks up here. Also moving as many to weekly as I can keep up. Me too, man. We're having to move them because they're wanting it cut so quick. You know, it's what we're having to do. So that's awesome. You know, hey, it's a little strange, a little something that's going on, but guess what? You're making a little bit more profit. So that's awesome. Awesome. Pool. That's where Ray's at. He's in the pool now. Thank all these folks in the comments. Yep, they all up in here. All up in the comments. Let's see. Hey, Ray, how's the weather been in Georgia? I think they've been getting a lot of rain there, Myers. Let's see. Whoa! We got to see this. I think maybe you already got a video on it. I'm sure you do. But, Jeff bought a new truck Saturday. What kind of truck did you buy? Give us some details on it, man. I know you got to be excited about it. I'm a little jealous because everybody knows that I've been needing a new truck. I've been wanting a new truck. I still like White Lightning, but White Lightning is 20 years old. So White Lightning has done really, really good for me. But, hey, man, I need a new truck. Give us some details on it there, Jeff. I'm excited with you. Not a lot of rain in Augusta, enough to keep the grass alive, though. Hey, that's what we want, man. Long enough to keep the grass alive. Guys, you know what this is doing, which is very awesome. And my idea, and Ray will probably speak to it too. Guys, this is awesome to get this kind of rain right now. It's going to push us on even further into that August, September, where usually that's when we be getting our drought. Usually that's when the yards would start slowing down. People would stop calling, or people would tell you, hey, skip it this week and all that. Boy, we're flowing right along through it, man. Let it keep on. Let it keep on just showering about once a week, every other day or something like that. As long as we can still get somehow the schedule done, let it hit that little bit of raining, man, so we can keep on making that money and people not try to get a little crazy. Y'all know customers get a little like they don't remember, like they don't understand that, you know, we got to make money. You know, we still got to be in our yard. We still got to make money. They try to act like, just skip it this week. Yeah, it don't need cut, you know. And I have to tell all my customers that, hey, if I skipped you and I skipped everybody, why don't I just tell the phone bill, or why don't I just tell the cable bill, or why don't I just tell the mortgage, hey, I'm going to skip this week because all my customers skip this week, you know. I don't have to pay, or they don't want to pay. I don't want to pay my bill or nothing either. So let's just go ahead and skip this week, you know, or skip this month. Could you repeat that, Lee? What am I repeating? Because I'm all over the place tonight, man. I already had about 4 swigs of this coffee, and I'm wired up. It's a 2025 Dodge Ram 2500. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome, dude. I've been looking at the Dodge. I've been really looking at the Chevys, and I already have a Ford F-250, so you know I've been checking them out. Just trying to see what I can find. I saw a pretty Ford F-250 on the way home from Mississippi. It was one of the Rouse models, and I like to look into them a little bit more. If anybody knows anything about them, let me know. But yeah, I'd like to get me another truck. Oh yeah, cut crazy. Yeah, you know all about them. They start getting like that, don't they, Tank? At some time of the year, they get crazy. Maybe that just need to be one of my little theme sayings or whatever. All these customers getting crazy like they forgot. But you know what I'm talking about. Ray knows what I'm talking about. We all know. Let's see. Check our Enterprise and CarMax for slightly used trucks, half the price of new ones. There you go. Let's see. This the best season ever for us. We have done 32K in the last 30 days. Only paid out is labor, insurance, fuel, and regular expenses. Bam! 32K. That's awesome, Ray. Oh, Ray, killing it out here. We'll leave that one up for a couple minutes. Let everybody see it, Ray. Flexing a little bit on Irvin's Live, but I like it. I like it when we all can just sit around, talk about lawn care, talk about our numbers, and let people know that Ray is doing videos showing what you can do, man, what you can make in this game. So that's pretty awesome, man. 32K this month. Yeah. So, anybody else want to talk about it? Anybody else want to share a little bit of your business, how it's going and everything? Man, I've got everything just messed up. I wish I could just grab the camera, pull it over here, to show y'all what kind of mess I got over here that I've done created. That's when you see me over here grabbing things and moving it. And, I only come down here, once a week or every 2 weeks and have problems rechanging and moving stuff all over the place and around. Look at that. It's taking a toll, though. Couldn't have done it without my ace, Justin. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Ray is the master of the skid steer. And he's learning, Jay, every day. Learning every day. Every day he's learning. Yep, I need to learn some from you too, whatever, Ray, because you're killing it, dude. With not that much labor, pretty good. And like you said, you're done by like 2 o'clock every day. That's pretty good, man. Oh, my guys, man, are getting 12, 14 hours a day. Well, they want it, different pay scale that me and Ray does. Even though I still pay my guys pretty well, but, some of them just don't understand that whole paper performance, and it's hard to explain that to guys that are, language barriering from each other, as I can see and say. Let's see. Can't be great without learning. Exactly right, Mr. Myers. Yeah. Now, like I said, guys, in the top, I'll put another one up here because they've already been several come in on the comments. Let me put it up here. If you want to come in, you're more than welcome to. And I'll pin it at the thing. There you go. Got it pinned in the comments. If you want to come on, talk, see some newer faces and everything that goes along with these lives. I just, I get a thrill out of it. I like it, We ain't gonna post that one or whatever, Ray, just to help you out or whatever. But yeah, I get it. I think if Roberto knows a lot about my business and everything, so yeah, it's all good. But it has, I don't know. Ever since I've been doing YouTube, I've had Roberto or whatever, and I've never said anything bad towards him or against him online and all that. And I can see where it could try to throw them under the bus or anything like that, kind of like what Ray's going and getting at. But heck, man, they do a good job. They get praised for it. You know? So, anybody got anything else they want to add? Anybody else want to come in? Let's see, 21 on the list for me this week. One day I'll get like Ray doing 32K. Maybe. You'll get there, dude. I promise you, man. You start, Ray will tell you, man, he didn't start out making that kind of money or whatever. It took years and years of learning and clawing at the schedule and everything to get to where he is today. You know, we do pretty well too, or whatever. We're not, we're doing all right. We're doing really, really good for what I got, for the equipment I have, and the business I have. I'm picking up on possibly another commercial job tomorrow. It's a shopping center in the middle of my town. They want me to come and give them a price on it. It's going to be year-round account. And, we might pick up another one. I think I picked up like 4 or 5 yards in the last week. So I'm still bringing yards on, and my guys are still getting it done. And they're loving the hours that they're getting. And one day I know I'm going to break that barrier where I can go out and start that other crew. But right now, man, hey, Roberto and David, they want all the hours they can get. They want to work 14 hours, 6 days a week. Besides Saturday, they like to go to church on a Saturday, but they'd be all right working 14 hours a day, Sunday to Friday. So, do you have a better week there, Tank, than what's been going on with you and everything? Do you have a better week this past week? Yeah, Ray, I 100% agree with you on that, Ray. That's great that you put that in there. You will get there. Stay with it. Is the secret. Build relationships. Just, don't just chase customers, Build a core. Build your business from the bottom up. Do what you say you're going to do. Make sure wean out the bad with the good customers and everything as you're growing. And your good customers, they'll stick around with you for years. Getting better, Lee. So that's great, man. I'm glad that your weeks are getting better. It's just a learning curve, you know that, little learning curves that you have in business and life and all that. If I was out in the field every day with the guys and doing videos and doing this live, I'm sure I would be way overwhelmed and all that too. So, trying to take one step at a time, breaks on some things just so I don't get too overwhelmed with this heat and everything else that we got going on. So, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, you're exactly right, Mr. Myers. He said Lee has a great crew, which I do. Very, very blessed to the crew that I have. And he said it's hard to find good help these days. They just want to check and don't want to work for it. You're exactly right. Y'all read that one right there. It says, do what you say, even if you take a hit. Exactly. We all go through hits in life and everything. It's a learning curve. And my customers, they're going to have to die before they fire me. Or move or pass away or something like that, man. If you do what you say you're going to do, stay consistent, let them know. Yeah, it's hard to fire people like that, man. That's why you see a lot of the good ones sticking around for years and years and years. It's because of that. And that's how we pick up yards as we're growing our business because, hey, what's one of the things that we always get told? We always get told, he just stopped showing up, or he got hurt and he ain't gonna be able to come out here no more. I get that excuse a lot. I think people just tell people that. They're like, they might call the customer and say, hey, I tweaked my back. I'm not gonna be able to come for a couple months, and you might have to find somebody else. When in reality, they probably didn't, or if they did, I hate that, but I'm thinking in reality, a lot of people tweak everything all the time, So then we pick them up, and then we build a relationship with them, and we grow in our business, and they stick around with us because, we're doing what we say we're going to do, and, keeping good equipment, and, taking that one step higher up to make our company big as it is, and that's the American dream. That's what everybody wants to do, Totally agree with Ray on that. I've took many hits in life in my lawn care business for lessons to learn and to not do again. So, yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, you're gonna have them. Yeah, every yard, every job is not gonna be perfect, and you're gonna have to learn. So it says a lot of these guys around here lowball so hard that they go bankrupt behind a flat tire. Look at it. Yeah, man, you can't do that, man. You got to price these yards. Excuse me, guys. You got to price these yards to where, you're taking out a lot of stuff, to make it worth it. You can't just go in there and just flat out just try to rob the customer if you have one customer and say, oh, it's going to be, $1,000 a month because I got a truck payment, I got a mower payment, I got all this. You can't do that, guys. You just got to quote it to where you're doing your per hour, making your money per hour, and you go to the next job. So you're adding up through the day of what you can make per hour to be comfortable and do that every single day. So, I get it. It is pretty hard quoting yards and everything, but if you're new to this and everything, and I know me and Ray can talk about it because we can pretty much drive to a yard, get out of the truck, maybe spend 5 minutes there, and we already know what we're going to charge to do the job for. We already know what it's going to cost. We already know the area. We already know how much weedings it's going to take, mowing, and blowing everything off. If they got a shop area in the back with concrete or whatever, we pretty much know what it's going to be. I know it's harder for the new guys that are getting into this, but I have to realize, I'm sure Ray does, that, if a lot of y'all in here are new to this, I can see where it's kind of hard to, price jobs and everything. Yes, you're right, Ray. It's up to you to keep your expenses low. Customers don't care about your new truck payment. You're exactly right. They don't care about your new lawnmowers. They don't care about your stunting trailer. They don't care if you got racks on the side of it. They don't give a crap about any of that. What they care about is their yard, their property getting cleaned up. However you can do it for a timely manner and not charge them an arm and a leg, that's what they care about. They don't care about all the bells and whistles, how you got there and how you got it done. So that's where you got to come in and price it right and build your business up to where you do have all the bells and whistles and all that. And you can charge, and what I was charging for yards 20 years ago is not the same, or 17 years ago or whatever. It's not the same as what I'm charging yards now. And I got better equipment. It gets me done faster. I'm more efficient. I'm more, so there you go. Let's see. Ron, what's up, man? Ronnie, how you doing? When did you make the switch to mainly commercial, and was it the plan or just how it played out for you? All right, so I planned it early on that I found out that commercial is year round. Keep me having money coming in for the winter months. I can start, that's kind of how I went with it. But I still do residential, guys. We still do residential. We're like 85% commercial, 15% residential. So I've talked about it before, but I keep the residential as far as cash flow to keep the guys paid, because there is sometimes it takes 90 to 60 to 30 days to get paid on these commercial sites and everything, commercial jobs. But I come to find out that the commercial is year round. So I still got money coming in. And 4 months out of the year, we're not probably doing anything but going out, picking up a couple pieces of paper, checking the property, and then we're in and out of there super fast. And I'm still collecting a check every month from them. So that's why I like commercial. I always have. I got good relationships with a lot of my commercial properties. They a lot of them pay on time. I just have a slight few that, yeah, it gets pretty rough. Let's see. Tank said, how do you put yourself out there to pick up commercial properties, Lee? I put it out there, guys. You want to talk about how to approach people in the commercial world or whatever? Go to the businesses. Ask to talk to the manager. If it's like a big, industrial property that we have, go to ask to speak to the maintenance manager, because a lot of times they'll be the ones that do the bids on these properties and talk to people. Just go to the front desk and ask to speak to somebody. Say, hey, Urban Lawn Service here. I got my shirt, I got my hat on, I got a flyer or a door hanger, just whatever, something with your name on it, something that could show everything that you do. Tank, I'll walk in and I say, hey, Urban Lawn Service here. Is there any way I can talk to a manager? A lot of times, the manager's not in or whatever. I said, all right, well, can you leave them this? And if y'all need somebody this year, if y'all looking for somebody else, if y'all not happy with who y'all are using right now, can you give this to them and let them see it? We cover all this. We're in your area, and you can spread that news a little bit more. Like, hey, we're doing a couple properties down the road here that are commercial and everything. So we were going to see if we can try to get y'all on the same schedule. If you like it, you can go down the road. If you do some, we do, but you can tell them, hey, we're not far from y'all, and I'm just going out looking to see if I can just grow the business a little bit more. My guys were wanting to take on some more work or whatever. So I thought about coming out today. I'm going to go to your next door neighbors. I'm going to go to the next person down the road and see if they want to take on our service. We've been in business for, say, so-and-so amount of years. We're licensed, insured. We got all the, stuff that you need. Just seeing, and, just make yourself out there. Present yourself. Be confident when you go in there, because you might go off in there and then the manager comes up and he says, hey, yeah, man, let me go get him. He's looking for somebody right now. Can you give us a price today or whatever? So, yeah, you better be on your A game. A lot of times, just go right in there, talk to them, say, yeah, man, I've been walking around the property. Won't you walk me around everything? If you got time, maybe walk me around through everything and let me see what it all entails, what all you're wanting done. And a lot of times they'll walk you around, show you the bushes, show you this. Hey, we need this place right here cleaned up. We need this. And, you can land some properties like that. So hopefully that helped. I hope I didn't ramble all too much, but maybe just get yourself out there. Let's see. He said, in my area, they don't want to pay hourly, but pay per their... Back 20 years ago, they think it's a $20 cut. It's your area, man. It's, it just depends on your areas and everything, Let's see. Cost me more the first 5 years than it does now, and it makes more money. It always works your density as you build from years to years, even if the properties ain't paying top dollar. You make it up in your density. So, yeah, I raised in a good spot, man. He's got all his jobs. He said one day he's out there working, he might not go more than 5 miles. Now, I can't do that in my area, and that's why we talk about this on the channel. He talks about it on his channel. I talk about it in this live or whatever. Dude, y'all got to realize I live in a rural area. My city probably has 150,000 people, while his city might have 10,000 people. Or, I mean, not 10,000, 200,000 or 300,000. I don't know how big his city is. But I'm just saying my city is not that big, and there's little small cities in the area, close by, or counties, well, Well, cities is one county, but there's going to be cities that are small community cities that's connected to my city. But yeah, I can't get, you know, my route density is not as good as Ray's, or I think Tank's is pretty good. Chad's is really good down there in, you know, Auburn and Opelika, dude. That's a big place, man. It's like Birmingham. So, you know, he's got, you know, a bunch of yards, and he don't have to travel as far. You know, I have to travel a ways to get to some of my commercial accounts or some of my yards. Let's see. Yeah, I don't cut no grass by the hour either. It's by the job. I never had somebody pay me by the hour to cut yards. Makes a lot of sense, Lee. Thanks. Hey, man. I hope it does, man. I'm kind of all over the place tonight, guys. A little tired. Glad we're getting this live in for everybody. I'm in one of the wealthiest areas in the county, and these folks are cheapskates. Hey, a lot of times, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Brandon, you're exactly right. A lot of my rich people are the cheapest ones, but a lot of the ones that would pay and everything, they're on fixed incomes. And they'll pay and take care of you and all that. But my super rich people, oh my God, dude. Oh, it's hard to get any money from them, dude. They feel like you done took them out to the back and beat them up and robbed them for it, you know? I mean, you're exactly right on that one. Okay. He's talking to Ray. Let's see. Seen houses in different properties. Grass hasn't been mowed all this season yet. Grass waste time. Hey, they don't want to get it cut, man. I get it, man. It's crazy. Cutting grass is different than general labor. 60 minimum on yards. Yeah. So look at a yard. If you think it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes, oh, look, Ray's already hitting it. He just popped it up. Exactly. 15 to 20 minutes, $60 to $80, guys. You know, charge, because you're still going to have to pay your fuel out of there. You want to make some money yourself, guys. You're going to pay your insurance out of it and all that. But you break it down in small segments of it, you know, because you might do 10 yards that day, or 15 yards that day. But, you know, make your man hours, you know, around 60 plus. You know, I think anywhere around, you need to be around 60 plus. Today's standard. If you were going standard for the whole United States, I think just like they do minimum wage, you know, and they're wanting to raise it up and everything, make sure your minimum is 60 to 60 something plus. You know, don't go under that per your hour rate. Now, a lot of places you can get more than that. And I got two guys, and they're out there getting it and getting everything done. We you know, I hate to say it, but we try to stay at around 200 an hour. You know, that's what I tried to do. I try to get it to where I got two guys, $200 an hour rate, getting stuff done. And that'd be like 100 hours per man hour. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they're getting it, you know, when we're flying through these yards and everything right now. So, I mean, like I said, they're working 12 hours a day. I mean, we're doing like $1,800 a day, you know, right now. So let's see. Blue collar homeowners for me are the best customers. They understand that good quality service ain't cheap. Exactly. It's your customers and what they do and all that. You're exactly right. Very interesting on the rich folks. I'm looking to get into a very higher end area and curious how to approach these types of folks. Yeah. You're exactly right on that. So let's see. I've got 5 on that street, then you at 400 in 2 hours. That's pretty good. And he's right. Rich folks are pretty tough to deal with until you know them, until they know you, you know, until I understand that you're capable. But I mean, I've had some for years, man, and they're tightwads to me. They're one of the most, you know, tight people out of all my other customers or whatever. And I've known them for years, but they still are tight with that money. But that's why they're rich. because they don't spend a whole lot of it or whatever. They kind of nest that stuff in, you know. And then some of them, they're on fixed incomes or whatever. Bam, man, it's all day, every day. They want me to do something for them, or constantly paying on time, all that kind of stuff. Hey, man, these are pretty good questions coming in, guys. I really do appreciate that. So, like I said, anybody that wants to get on here, I think Chad said he might get on here in a little while. Anybody that feels like they want to get on here and talk with us and, you know, bring on a new face or a familiar face to the live, they're more than welcome to. I don't know if we'll go on as long as we have been going on. Like I said, I am pretty tired, guys. And, you know, I ain't trying to set records every week as far as the distance of how long lives have got to be or whatever. So if this one don't go as long as usual, whatever, don't take it out on me. Don't stop watching me is all I can say. Yeah, see, and they only want to think you as a lawn guy. Don't take it personally, because that's what they're going to think of. Yes, you know. I'd rather have 5 middle class with good density than 5 rich folks. See, Ray gets it. He understands. Let's see. People don't understand that when the grass is really high, are hiding snakes, rats, ticks, and rabbits' nests. Exactly. And they don't realize that it's hard on our mowers. It's hard on our equipment, you know. And I'll be dang if I'm going to go to a yard and cut it once a month and that stuff's knee high and charge them a regular cut price. I ain't going to do it, you know. But I'm not taking on any yards that ain't every 2 weeks or every 7 days. I've had customers ask me, hey, well, you probably won't have to come to this yard but every 3 weeks, 4 weeks max. The grass just don't grow much here. And I'll tell them flat out in the beginning. Hey, if I can't get you on a regular schedule because I'm cutting your neighbors 2 blocks down the road or two houses down the road and he's every 14 days, if I can't do yours every 14 days, I'm not even going to do you, because I set the schedule as it does on the calendar. 7 days, 14 days. I ain't doing none of this 10 days, 22 days or 24 days. You want me to come out? I'm not doing any of that. It's either going to be every 7 days or every 14 days. That's how I'm going to cut your property. Let's see. We had a spot last year that we could park the trucks in, work 60 yards an hour with the employees I had then. That's good. That's good. That's good money. Yep. And they see me as the lawn guy they hired. Exactly. That's good. Really good. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I set my schedule up, guys. It's going to be that. But and then that customer I picked up totally understood. She said, "Okay, that sounds great. Just do it every time you do your neighbor's yard." I said, "We'll be there every other Friday. That's when we're doing it." And she said, "Sounds good." She said, "Because my last guy just stopped showing up." And here we are, guys. This is what I was telling you about. I picked up like 4 last week, and a lot of them was because they stopped cutting it. Well, I wonder why. We had only 2 weeks of hot weather, 2 or 3 weeks of really tough hot weather, and I'm already picking up yards because of it. Yep. Let's see. Or mowing their lawns on a call base. No, not doing it. Not doing it, Myers. Not even doing it. Let's see. Yep, that employee started. Okay. All right. Every 2 weeks or no go for me. Yep. Every 2 weeks or no go for you. I don't blame you. Let's see. That employee started a career, right? I still do those properties, but it takes me about an hour and 45 minutes. Hey, it's not bad. That happens, man. You know, I had some really good kids that worked for me one time, and now they own their own business. So I want my guys to grow too. You know, Roberto, he don't care about running a business or anything. He's only got a couple more years left, and he done said him and his wife are moving back to Mexico. You know, he's got a place over there, guys. I mean, he brought his kids over here. Well, you know, he came 10 years ago, left for about 5 years, and now he's back. But he's got a house, land, everything in Mexico. He, you know, his daughters were born over here, so they're American citizens now. And but he's wanting to go back home. So, and he's kind of a little upset too because the way prices and everything are now. He's making good money, but he's like, Lee, it's expensive to live here now. That's why he's like, 5 years, I'm gonna save up as much as I can. We're going back home, you know. But hey, what he does with his money is just like you wouldn't care about what any of your employees do with their money, you know. If he wants to take his money back over there, he worked and earned it. He's not getting anything from the government, guys. Let him, you know. Let's see. There, y'all amongst each other talking. So yeah, okay. Ray, you said you're paying your guys $200 a day. That's pretty good. Roberto makes either, you know, I think he's probably Ray, my guy, but he's not working as many hours as your guy. So you're paying your guy really well. You know, if he's only working 8 hours a day, $200, man, you're paying him really good. That's awesome. You know, so Roberto's making like probably $240, $250 a day, probably around $250 a day. I don't know. Last week he made like $1,200. Usually it's around $1,260, something that he's making a week. So yeah, see, 6 hours a day. And that's what you got to pay to have good help. You know, I agree. I understand, Ray. And that Justin guy is really getting after it for you, man. Are you definitely going to try to keep Justin on during the winter months too or whatever? Maybe pay him some kind of little salary or something? Because that's what I have to do to Roberto. So Roberto gets a little bit of a salary. See, your guys know lunch. See, my guys take lunch. I pay for their lunch and their time on lunch break. So he's getting benefit for that too. So he sits down for an hour and eats. I pay for that hour. And a lot of times I buy their lunch. So he's getting a $12 meal and $20 an hour for sitting there eating it, you know? Oh, so yes, you're going to try to give him some kind of salary pay, work him a little bit. Maybe you can pick up some more. You know, if you have the work and everything, it's going to be great. But I know, you know, there's going to be, with Roberto and everything, there's about, probably totals up to about 2.5 months that I have to just pay him, you know, no matter what. And that gets him coming back every year, guys. You know, save it up, put it in your budget. Whatever I'm telling you to do, if you got good employees and you're going to let them off every winter and you expect for them to come back next winter, put it in the budget now that you need to set back money to pay them, whether they're working or not. You give them money. You know what I'm saying? That's how you build your business up, guys. That's how you keep that guy coming every year, so and so forth. You don't have to retrain somebody else up. You don't have to show them the yards. Roberto drives a truck and does everything he needs to do. He is well worth paying him through the winter when we're not even doing anything. And I've told him in the past too, hey, you're going to get a check every Friday. We might not work for the next 3 weeks. You're going to get a check every Friday. If you want to go off and try to do some side work for yourself, go ahead. That's good for you. But I'm going to have you a check every Friday. Lee needs a 5-hour energy drink with a couple. I thought I was doing pretty good tonight, Myers. I don't think I feel like if somebody was in here helping me talk or whatever, I wouldn't be doing so much yapping. I feel like when you're the host and guest of the live, you got to do a lot of talking. You know, you got to keep conversations going, and that's why it helps me when y'all doing all these comments for me. It helps me to, you know, talk about it, because my mind can only take on so much. Let's see. See what Ray said. He said, yes, based on what business makes. So we hit 900 or so on lawns we done. Then it's up to me to make that work with money management. Exactly. That's what you got to do. Yep. And put back for your employee for the winter months when you aren't doing much or whatever. That's why you said, you're paying for an investment, guys. When you got your employee and he is getting it, you got him to a point where he's running your business for you and everything. You're investing in that guy. So he's got a family, 3 kids, a wife. He needs money in the wintertime too. Invest in him, pay him, Oh, yes. Let's see. My buddy has 2 guys that he works 2 weeks a month in the winter. He pays them $5,000 a month year round. That's good. That's really good. Year round, no matter what. Keep them paid. Skid job pays more. It does, man. And that's why it'd help on a lot of that other extra spending and extra expense that you're going to have throughout the year. Because I use Roberto as an expense too. And I know all y'all do with your employees and everything. So, you're taking that out. Roberto's making about probably about 45, 50,000 a year, with me. So that's pretty good, for a smaller lawn care company, one crew, pretty much that we do, go out and make, and then David is going to be in a situation where I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. And it's going to be pretty hard. David came on as a helper. So, I would love to keep David on. We're going to see how it goes. I might try to give him a smaller amount because he still lives home with mom and dad and everything too. But, I want to pay him for what he's worth, and he makes good money, And so I'm trying to figure out how I can keep David on, keep him happy. And, that way I can push him for next year, So these guys must be really good thing to do that pay. Yeah, they must be making really good money. You're exactly right, Chad. All right, I'm doing my 21 lawns in about 15 hours, 3 mornings with dry time this week and accounting for wet grass and rain. Gonna do a dab over 1,300 unless I can add on some spraying or bushes if I got the time. So that's once a week, man. Extra $1,300. And Dalton, you do this on the side. You got a full-time job. Exactly, man. There's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Let's see. Buddy Lee, back from a ride. Hey, anytime you want to join, man, I actually put it up not too far along the thing if you want to get on here and get in the live with us there, Chad. Like I said, Chad, Ray, any of y'all, I've been stressing anybody that wants to get on here and talk, they're more than welcome to and everything. So let's see. Lee pays better than McDonald's or MC. I think that's what he's meaning, but I don't know. Let's see. He works with them during the growth seasons, but they are on their own in the winter. Oh, okay. They're on their own in the winter, but he pays them that year round, $5,000 a month year round. Tank. Stack money all summer, no time to spend. Exactly. Let's see. Pays better than McDonald's. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Let's see. He said he's doing a little over $500K a year. That's pretty good. Not me. Having a bad hair day. Yes, Lee. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Pay them year round, but during the winter they're on their own and they doing what they want. So that's good, man. 5,000 a week year round. That's pretty good money, man. He's doing about 500. How many? You said he had 2 employees, Tank? So he's paying 2 guys. That's 400. That's $240,000 a year that he's paying in labor, right? Am I figuring that up right? Y'all help me out, man. I'm like I said, man. I've been on a not hardly a whole lot of sleep. Let's see, 5,000 times 12. That's 60,000. Okay, so he's paying 120,000 a year just in labor. And he's doing 500,000 a year. So, yeah, I mean he's still doing really good then, you know. Oh, if I mean 380,000. But what type of business does he have? Is he doing lawn care and everything? Is that what he's doing? Lawn care tank, landscaping and all. So how much does he have in? You got to look at all the other stuff or whatever. You know, how much is he actually getting by with? You know. But I mean, 60,000 a year. You know, that's what I say. I mean, Roberto's doing almost like 50. You know, there's times where he's done 55. You know, a year with me. You know. So he just might make more everything except treatmently. Yeah, that's what we do. But I'm not doing no $500,000 a year. I wish I was doing that. I hear you, Chad. Some people just don't know what they got until it's gone. Let's see. I've been saving money every summer to pay labor in the winter for years. No one has ever made it that long to get it. Wow. Lawn and landscape. That's what he's doing. He lives a minimalist lifestyle as well. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, man. That's what you want, man. You want to just live at your own means, whatever that might be, you know, and just because I'm raking in pretty good bit of money, there's a lot of expenses going out and everything, but you don't see me going and buying. I mean, I still got a truck that's a 2006 model, you know. That should show a little bit. Now, you see my mowers, I care more about them because they're what making me money. The landscaping truck, the box truck, that's what's making me money. The truck, yeah, I mean, I got a dependable, it has been a dependable truck. Now it's starting to act up a little bit, but I didn't see the need to justify to go buy a 2026 truck yet, you know. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, and I save on a lot of things, you know, like working on my own stuff a little bit, like going to sharpen my own blades, buying my blades online. We already know this, guys. You know, whatever you can do to save on the top end, to make money, to help pay towards like taking care of you guys, because that's all you got. You know, they're in the trenches with you, for you. Take care of them. You know. Oh, that's good, Chad. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. Oh, he's divorced, no kids. He said he does want to work after he turns. Oh, he doesn't want to work after he turns 50. Yeah, I don't blame him. What's up, Wayne? Glad you're in here, man. Appreciate it coming in. Thanks. There was a pretty good video y'all in here just a second ago, man. We got up to like 22, 23 people. Awesome. Glad y'all are in here, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're right, Ray. A lot of people can't handle that, man. All time, a lot of free time or whatever. They want to go spin. You know, it ain't about what you want. It's all about what I mean, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Give me a second. Like I said, guys, I'm a little tired. Myers been on my butt here lately saying I need a 5-hour energy and my coffee, which I got my coffee, but it ain't about what you need. It's about what you want. There we go. You know, because anybody can need a whole lot. I mean, want a whole lot. It's about what you got to have, you know, for your business. Hopefully I said that right. I don't know, man. Woo! Welcome, everybody. Sunday Night Live. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's see. Thanks, Tank and Lee. Glad it's over now. Yeah, man. Whew. I'm glad it's over with too. What about court costs and everything? Did they make him pay for all that? I'm guessing that probably adds all that. I'd hammer him with everything, man. And I should be hammering him with my pay for having to go up here and back, time off for work, and all that, man. I'd have hit him with everything if I was going to be in that case, in that thing. So I'm sure you was. Look like you're doing pretty. You got you a little bit of something back. Hey, it's better than nothing, you know. So. Yep, it's all about what you got to pay for. Yeah. No lawyer fees, Lee. Okay. I got you. Had a small engine repair shop in the area. Noticed that he's out of business now. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard with all businesses right now, guys. Trying to get everything done. Man, I can see in my eyes like all red. Ugh. It's itchy. Everything. Just whooped right now. Let's see. Did pay the court fee. Okay. Good. Good, Chad. Chad, if you want to jump on here and everything, if you feel like you want to talk about this situation, hey, that's up to you, man. That's all you. If you want to let a lot of people know what went down and, what other people can watch out for, I'll leave that up to you. That's your personal, that's your issue. So you let me know. But I think you said one time you were wanting to discuss it, might discuss it on the live or something one night, but and give a good thing for other people to watch out for and all that too. But like I said, I'm going to leave that up to you. So, but guys, anybody got anything else they want to talk about? Come on here. What kind of questions y'all have, man? Are y'all ready for, man, this next week for us, man? They're showing rain every other day, guys. And Chad, what about you, Ray? All y'all put in there how much rain they're showing in the weather for y'all for the next week coming up. I think tomorrow's like 85%. Tuesday's like 60%. Thursday's something percent too. And we're just going to be bobbing and weaving, man. Bob and weave, man, getting through this list that we got going on next week. So, like I said, I told y'all we moved a lot of people to weekly. So, yeah, we're getting them on that, making extra money off everybody, which is great at this time of year right now. So, deuces, Ray. Appreciate you coming on, dude. Appreciate you being in the comment. All right, here's Chad. Here we go. What's up?
Buddy Lee, what's going on? Best live show in lawn care YouTube.
I know. That's what you've been saying on your channel a lot, man. I appreciate it.
I just felt sorry for you being by yourself. I figured Tank would have got on here by now, or Ray won.
I know. I begged them. Well, I didn't really beg them, but I just kept saying, hey, anybody wants to get on here,
Right.
So.
You had a good week?
Oh, yeah. We had a really good week. Got everything done, get the list done. I'm happy if the list is happy, done. That's how I look at it, I know we're making money as long as all the yards are done by Friday or Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I don't know if you had a chance to watch my video. Obviously, I had a breakdown. I don't know if you watched it or not, but yeah, I had a breakdown.
I ain't watched it, yeah.
Yeah, one of my Zuzus, the one that Cam and JR were in, actually broke down at 4 o'clock. They was at the second to the last yard. Got it done and went to crank it. Nothing. Ended up being, I'm assuming it's something to do with starters. So I replaced the battery after I had a conversation with the guy that I bring it to in Columbus to get the oil change. He assumed it was the battery. Even though the radio and the lights and all that came on, he was thinking maybe it was just a little weak. Didn't have enough amps to crank it, and it's 4 years old, the battery itself. Well, come to find out, I ended up replacing it. And when I took the old one back, it was fine. So I went and I tried to crank it and do a few other little things, and sure enough, it didn't yesterday. And then today, this afternoon, after I got done working out at the church and working out at the gym, went by there to put the key in the toolbox, and just thought, I'll just try to see if I can get it to turn over. And sure enough, it turned over. So I ended up taking it back to my house. I was just only about 3 miles away. But yeah, Ernest actually commented on the video, and I called him and talked to him. Is he in the chat, by the way?
Oh, I didn't see him. I haven't saw Ernest in my chat in a couple of weeks, man. I'm about to get on to him.
So
Where he's been at.
And some of y'all can chime in. Ray mentioned, I think he commented on the video, and I did try this, I didn't do that today as far as tapping on the starter to see if I could get it to turn over.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that last night when my dad was with me. But I didn't do anything today. I just showed up and turned the key, and it turned on. So Ernest was telling me he thinks it's something to do with solenoid in the starter itself, or a relay. I don't know. I'm not
could be.
But
yeah, you're probably going to need to put a new starter on it and everything. And
that's what Ernest said. It's inside the starter itself, right? The solenoid.
Yeah.
So
it's usually just 2 bolts off the transmission, the starter. Have you took a starter off a vehicle and put one back on?
I haven't. I mean, honestly, this is a little obviously different than normal vehicle. I'll probably end up taking it in. I mean, the oil needs to be changed pretty soon anyway. It's probably about 1,500 miles from being changed out. So I'll probably, if I get a chance this week, I'll just take it over there and let them, figure it out and replace the starter. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is, starter.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
Like I said, I tried starting it back after I replaced the battery. I found out it wasn't the battery, even though, like I said, the lights and the radio and all that came on. It didn't make any kind of clicking noise at all that typically it would make with the starter going bad, make it like clicking noise. So it didn't do that at all. So I tried tapping on the starter, put it in neutral. I looked up on Google, and he said that you could put it in neutral and try to turn it, see if it comes on. Didn't come on. So then I tried tapping on the starter, didn't come on. And then sure enough, today it fired right up as soon as I turned it. So yeah, obviously something's going on there with the starter, I'm assuming, like Ernest was saying, like you're saying. So I'm going to take it in, let them go ahead and do whatever it is they got to do. I don't trust it. Even if it starts up a time or two, I'm not going to trust it to be out on the road knocking out jobs. You know what I mean?
No, I got it. You want to keep it going. Oh yeah, look, Tom Doe just got on here. It might be a bad ground too, but your vehicles are new. You got newer trucks, so really hard to find that it's got a bad ground on it.
Yeah, it's got 34,000 miles on it now, and that's what the guy that I called at the Columbus shop, Russ Truck Center, where I take it to get the oil change. He was saying it's unusual for a starter to go out that soon, but I mean we start and stop a lot. Constantly starting and stopping and all that. And I guess with it being hot and all that, maybe it just caused something to fail, that solenoid or whatever. Is that what Tom thinks today? He thinks it's the ground?
Yeah, he said it could be a bad. He said it could be a bad ground or something.
Is that
which I mean,
it
could
fix? I mean, like I said, I'm not super mechanical, and I don't want to start fooling with stuff on that truck and screw something up.
Well, it's hard because a lot of times there could be a bunch of grounds on a truck, so you don't know which one it is. You'll just have to go through there and find it. And if you're looking for a ground, it's like on the frame. It's just a black wire on the frame, or somewhere on the firewall or something, and it might be corroded or something. So you'll undo it, and use your battery cleaning tool and clean it, or a wire brush and stick it back on there. A lot of times that could be it.
Is it hard to say? I mean, would it be easy to find on my truck, Lee? I mean, I haven't really looked.
And unless you're looking at the one just for the negative cable, like he's talking about, on the battery, is there any corrosion or anything on any of the batteries? Have you looked down there by the starter to see if there's any corrosion by it? Because you'll have a red wire going to your starter, and a lot of times you might have the black wire going to it, or it might just be on the engine block or something,
It was
It
on the engine block, and you couldn't really see. I could barely even get a hammer in there to tap on it, so I couldn't really get a good look at it.
Okay.
See about the wires and all that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. that's actually what the guy where I ended up parking it at said. He thinks something to do with a loose, or like Tom said, a corroded wiring or wire or something like that, So maybe that's what it is, but
Was the battery
I don't know enough to know, so I'm gonna take it in anyway, and
was the battery loose? The cable's loose on the end, or anything? It was all tight. Yeah,
it was all tight. Yeah.
Somebody said, "Oh, Chase over there." He said, "I want to hear more about this snapper man."
Yeah. Hey, Chase, I'm gonna get on Chase too. So I don't know. Sometimes these comments erase them still, but he put a comment on there, and I was going to reply to it. I saw he put a comment asking about it, and then all of a sudden it just poofed and disappeared. So yeah, Chase, why don't you erase that comment for?
He's erasing comments.
I don't know. Sometimes they just automatically, for whatever reason, they just disappear on their own. Like I don't erase anything, and but yeah, he had asked me about it on that video.
He said it's because I asked before I watched the whole thing, so he already knew.
Yeah. I said that's actually what I was going to ask him. I was like, "Did you not watch the whole video?" Because I said something on the end.
Yeah, because he was getting on me. You were calling me the fat Forrest Gump. I hear you. So if anybody needs to be a little upset about this, it's me being Fat Boy. But I leave my feelings at the gate a long time ago in the mine. So you chuck away. It don't matter.
What did I say? The chunky version or chubby version?
Yeah, Wayne's in here too. I watched the comments. Wayne was all giggly about it too. On your channel, I saw it.
I got you. I'm glad you didn't get so butthurt you didn't comment yourself. So I appreciate you commenting.
Yeah. No, it don't bother me.
You're not just messing with me.
I know.
Hey, listen, we're just having fun. You can mess with me too. I don't care.
If you like them, that's when you get on. You got to grind them a little. You got to get on them a little bit. That's when you like somebody.
Yeah.
It's the quiet ones. It's the quiet ones you got to worry about.
Right. I was about to mention somebody, but I'm kind of iffy about doing that. I don't want to hurt his feelings even more if his feelings are hurt. So.
Hey, he said Lee's not fat. He's thick. No, I'm PHAT. I'm thick. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
what did they say back in the day?
Yeah. All right. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to say this in a way that doesn't offend you, but I mean, you got a big head. So if you look at your head, I mean, your body doesn't match your head. You're actually thinner than you would think by looking at how big your head is.
Well, the camera puts on 20 or 30 pounds.
Your
Ain't that
head
what
don't
they
match
say?
your body. Like you're really not that big at all. Your head looks humongous.
Yeah, but I wear a smaller build like hat than my son does, and not 6'4". I would think he'd have a bigger head than me, but he always like, dang, Dad, I can barely put this hat on. He has to open it up more. I'm like, dang, fat head. So,
but I didn't want to bring up, obviously, we've talked about, importance of 2 mowers and having 2 of everything. Obviously, I'm glad I have 2 trucks now. Yeah. So I'll just run it. We'll just be in one truck probably the next 2 days or whatever I can figure out, trying to get it in the shop or fixed or whatever. But we'll see what we got to do. At least I got another one running, but now I'm kind of concerned about the other one because that's actually, the spray truck is actually older than the 2023 version that broke down. But it's got less miles. So you've been running the other one more. It's got like 6,000 less miles on it. I think it's got like 28,000 miles. But
just be glad that thing ain't diesel and you had to buy 2 batteries. But my diesel one has 2 batteries on it, but my box truck that I just created only has 1 battery. Gas engines only have 1 battery. So
when I bought that new battery for it, that's what he was asking me if I had 2. I was like, no, it's just got 1. But yeah, okay. I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, they told me, Lee, by the way, for any of you guys interested, when I bought those trucks, they said if I'm going to be making a lot of starts and stops, go with gas. If I'm making long distance trips, go with diesel when it comes to zoos. And I think you'd probably agree with that. Is that what you've heard?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I do longer trips with our diesel one than we do with the gas one.
Right. Yeah. You've told me
we take it out of town and all that. We use it. So
that is a good tip for anybody looking at in a zoo. Or is that going to be the same way with like Ray's truck? I know Ray's got a gas burner. I'm curious if they've said the same thing to him, if he's better off with the gas as opposed
to a diesel 250.
As far as starting and stopping and all that kind of thing. I know Ray says he has plenty of power, pulling power with his skid. I mean, obviously I know a diesel would probably pull it maybe a little bit better, but starting and stopping a lot. I'm assuming it's going to work the same with the F-250. Right, I'm curious about that. I mean, what would you think about that? You got F-250.
Yeah, I got a F-250. Yeah, pretty much the same or whatever. But, I have put a starter on it since I've owned it. I've put a lot on that truck since I owned it or whatever. But, man, that's just, it's 20 years old, 20-year-old truck. And, I'm looking at probably getting a new truck. But, you're going to have stuff you got to replace and stuff as it wears and tears and older vehicles. So,
right.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought, you see those commercials about the extended warranties and all that. Have you ever thought about buying one of those, or you think that's a no-go for you? I'm not necessarily.
It's a no-go for me, man. I don't like insurance. I don't like insurance, period. I think it's a scam.
Yeah.
The whole thing completely is a scam. Insurance on my house, insurance on my vehicles, commercial. And, we got commercial vehicles, so our insurance is even higher than some of these guys that just run a regular truck and trailer and all that. My insurance, dude, I'm spending like close to $2,000 a month on insurance, just for all the vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pay $50. If you pay once a year for those two Isuzus, you get a big discount. So it's $5,500 for the year. I just go ahead and do one check. So I was actually thinking about contacting my insurance guy and just asking them if it would cover that, or it may be under warranty, actually, the starter. I'm really not even sure. I mean, it's not a super old truck. It's only 3 years old, I guess, now.
It's probably still under warranty.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna call in and figure all that out. I just need it to be reliable. I don't want to just hope that it keeps cranking up. So I want to get it fixed. I've got my 223, by the way, in the shop. I'm gonna get it. It's just been working fine. I just wanted to have a few little repairs made and some little parts and pieces replaced and put on it. And they're gonna go ahead and change out the hydro oil and the filter and all that kind of stuff. I want it working. Tip-top shape, so
And which mower are you doing that to?
The T23, and I got the C19 back, and it's running great. One of the cylinders wasn't firing, so they took care of that and replaced a bunch of the parts on the deck that were missing and some other things. But now it's running really good. It mowed really good last week for me and the guys, Cam and Jeff. When I picked it up, I swapped it out with the T23 to let them do some work. And also the front wheel got bent last year, so they're going to go ahead and replace the metal part that the wheel goes on, the front wheel. It's like a horseshoe, I guess. You know what I'm talking about? So they're going to go ahead and replace that. It's actually kind of wobbly, and I think it's actually making it cut a hair uneven too, because it's bent. That front wheel, and it's been I've had it like that for a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and get actually both of those front wheels replaced. I just want it, running tip top. You know what I mean? So
do you use it a lot during the league season? Is that when you mainly use them? Is in the league season? Yeah. I got it.
A lot of times when I'll do leaves, if it's a big yard, I'll blow all the leaves with the laser, blow it in like a line or a pile, and then I'll suck up what's left with the walker, because that laser will chew them up into smaller pieces. You really don't want to go over a ton of leaves. The way it will just fill up so fast. But if you can chew them up with a big mower with both blades, blow it in a pile, and then you just suck up what's left. I found that to be a lot more. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. It's a lot quicker, more efficient doing it that way.
Have you saw where they can close the chute off and on the walker mowers? So like you're talking about what you're doing. They make a kit, I think, where it'll close it off.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And then you can run over it, then open it back up, and then run it into your hopper. I never had one of them on mine either. I never did.
Yeah. I remember now that you mentioned that. It's been so long. But, I don't know if that's something you can do automatically on them. Maybe Tank can answer to that. But is it a separate part you can put in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a lever or something. I think you can pull or something. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% positive, but that's what I thought. And it's like it's a flap that flaps it and closes it.
Okay. Yeah, you can adjust it somehow. I remember him saying something about that, but now that you mentioned it, I'm not sure if it's an extra that you had to put on it.
Yeah. I think it's an extra.
Maybe he can chime in on that.
Yeah. Chad, what dedication you use the Walker instead of the Laser Z? The customers want it bagged instead. Is that why?
Yeah, a lot of the certain customers like it bagged, especially if it's a smaller yard and it's got a gate. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get that 60-inch cut through these gates. So you really, I mean, there's no point in using the laser on a small front yard, and then, you know what I mean? It's just might as well just go ahead and use the Walker on the whole thing if it has a gate. It's better to get through the gate, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just depends. But yeah, certain customers, just something about bagging their yard, even though it's actually better if you don't a lot of times, but they just like it bagged. You know, and the Walker cut, you can't beat it. You know, so yeah, it looks really good, and you can actually. I know I did the video talking about striping. Yeah, I think the Walker will actually stripe better, you know, than the other mowers too. Even though if you have to go over it, you might have to go over it twice or whatever to really make it pop the stripes. But to me, it stripes a little better than other mowers.
I had an engine mower with it cool. It had a radiator on it and everything. One of my Walkers. And I had the 50-something inch, 56 inch, it's weird name, side discharge, and I had a 50-inch mulching, you know, where it would suck up into the thing.
Okay.
But my Walker had it's cool, like you change the radiator fluid and all that and everything too.
You didn't have the hopper? It was one of those that you kind of like.
No, I had a hopper too. But I would switch out the decks and put the side discharge deck out, you know, every now and then too. You know, I didn't know if you ever used one of them.
I haven't, but the other style Walker mowers that doesn't have the hopper on it, it's more like a commercial style mower. Have you ever heard anything about those? Are they good? I'm assuming it probably don't get good traction like the Laser Z and John Deere mowers and stuff like that. So
yeah, and they had one where it had like I never had one, but it had all the ones I ever had a hopper on the back of it as well, like you're talking about. But they have some that's got where it's like a dump bed on the back of it. You know?
Yeah, it can lift up. You can lift and dump into like a trailer or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean some of them have just a little thing back behind them. There wasn't a hopper or nothing. It was just something you could put stuff in and all that. You know. It was just over the top of the mower, you know. Yeah. I didn't know if you ever had one of them, but the ones you have is pretty much all you ever had, that kind of style.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I've only had two Walkers actually. You know, I had the Navigator. I'm curious if anybody in the comments ever had a Navigator. Have you used a Navigator by chance?
No, but I was going to buy one time and I never did. I was going to buy one, but never did.
I've done videos talking about it. You know, it will cut pretty good, but it doesn't handle near as good. It's not near as quick. It doesn't handle the hills near as good as a Walker because I think they're heavier. It sucks up really good. It's got a lot of suction, probably better suction. If you want to suck up leaves like along curbs and stuff like that. Yeah, I've noticed that, but I mean, obviously I don't have I sold my Navigators. But yeah, I mean, I much rather have a Walker over a Navigator. You know, they're built really good and they're heavier, but the weight is a disadvantage in my opinion, especially when it comes to mowing hills and all that, because obviously the Walkers don't really get great traction. A lot of times you got a steep hill, you're gonna have to go down it and then back up it, and that can be kind of sketchy sometimes. But a lot of times you have to find yourself going backing up a hill, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Hey, what's his name? Chase was asking. I'll put it up on here or whatever. He said, when are you supposed to use the deck rate adjustment setting on those lasers? And I wanted to ask about that too. How good is that, dude? Because I saw you cut that big patch and it was really tall and thick. And man, it blew it out beautiful. We don't have anything like that on ours. So that's another thing that you have on the Laser D that makes it kind of cool.
Is Ray still in the comment? I can't really see anybody. Ray still in the comments?
No, he's done. He's in that.
So Ray actually uses it the whole time. He puts it on the maximum rake setting, which, based on my understanding, is if you put the setting that he uses is more effective at cutting weeds. And so that's the setting that I had it on. I actually didn't have it on the maximum setting. I think I had it the last one, if that makes sense. But what it does, it angles the deck. And supposedly when it angles the deck that way, it allows that mower to cut those weeds a little bit better. And I feel it does definitely work. So I have noticed that. And it left a few stragglers, but very few. And if I'd have had it in the regular setting, which normally I'll keep it in the regular setting if I'm cutting just regular grass, because I feel like the cut's a little bit better. It's going to cut it a little bit lower if you put in that rake setting. So say if you got it on 2.5, and it's on that regular setting at 2.5, you put on that rake, it's going to lower it by about 1/4 inch. It's just going to look a little bit different, but it will cut the weeds better. Chase. And I mean, Ray uses it all the time, I think, on his.
That's pretty cool.
The other setting is actually for wet grass. I really don't use the other setting, the opposite end. For wet grass, it's supposedly the way it lifts the other portion of the deck, it like lifts it the opposite direction from the rake. So it allows you to cut the wet grass better. But I rarely put it in that setting, to be honest with you. What's up, Tank?
What's up, Chad? What's up, Lee?
What's up, man? How you doing? Do you
I
have
got a question for you, Chad.
Yeah, brother.
It got better about I'd say probably about Wednesday. It started getting better, but just dealing with a lot in and outside of work. Can't really get into it, man. There's some folks I'm trying to protect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
But I do have a question for you, Chad. You're talking about the walker. I missed a lot, man, because my signal kept going in and out with these. I guess these storms are starting to roll in my area. But
I've got some good questions for you.
You're talking to
comments.
Some good answers.
Well, yeah, just curious your thoughts on the walker in terms of talking about the walker itself. Just curious your opinion on some things. Yeah, go ahead, though, bro.
I got you. You was talking about I missed a lot because my signal was going out, and I was curious. Do you ever use your walker just for the simple fact that the lawn is uneven and you're cutting it fairly low and you don't want it to scalp the lawn? And my opinion on the walker is, man, it's pretty much nearly impossible to scalp a lawn with a walker, just the way that deck pivots and everything and rides with the contour of the land. Just curious if you've ever done that too, whether the customer wants it bagged or not.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think that has more to do with the width of the deck. I think the wider that deck
it does it with the 36 too.
I think, Lee, you probably agree with that, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My issue is the area I live in. They throw these houses and these properties up so quick. I live in Evans, Georgia, and it's developing very quickly around here. And these builders, they throw everything together so fast anymore, and they don't take the time to do anything right as far as the landscaping. And the ground is so uneven, so bad. I mean, I've scalped stuff up with a 36 before. Right. And so a lot of my stuff, I just got to where I'd rather use the walker, whether it needs to be bagged or not, because just the cut quality is so much better. And I do have an opportunity to dump on site at most of my places. So
yeah,
just curious if I'm the only one that's ever done that.
I think just to add to that, yeah, I agree with you. The walker cut and what you're talking about with the deck and all that. But my thinking is, whether using a walker or not, I'm sure, Lee, you would agree. If you got a very unlevel yard, just cut it a little higher. Because, I mean, if you hit a bump, it's not going to – I mean, you can obviously, if you're on a sit-down, you can raise the deck up, which I like to do, feathering the deck like Ray likes to talk about. But, yeah, typically if it's a real unlevel yard, I'll just make sure I raise the deck if I'm using laser. I think that's probably the most
that's typically what I do.
Yeah,
I do that a lot. I'll feather the deck with the deck lever or whatever. So I can't do it with a foot pedal. I'm on a stander, so I have to use a deck lever. But it's a little more irritating when you have to do it that way. But I do that sometimes. But you can't really go no higher than 3 inches in my area, because that's like the unforgivable sin around here. These customers will call you back so quick. They'll say, "Man, you didn't cut my grass."
Yeah. What are you? Are you cutting mainly Bermuda and Zoysia?
Bermuda, Zoysia, and I think I have one St. Augustine yard. It's mainly Bermuda, Zoysia, Bahia, and Centipede.
I got you. I love Centipede. It's just real fickle. You got to be careful. I know I've talked about it in a previous live about treating it with chemicals and fertilizing it. But it's a beautiful grass.
My favorite, my favorite is Zeon Zoysia. I don't know if y'all have any of that or not, but man, that is a beautiful turf, and it stripes up so nice.
I only got 1 yard, and I'm not gonna buy a walker to do that 1 yard. That's what I told the guy. I said I let all my walkers go. I'm done with them, but I got one Zeon Zoysia yard, and you're right. Even my John Deere's will make them look good, and he's happy with
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey Lee, can I ask
Which-
Tank something I was going to ask about the walkers, and anybody's in the comments, if you ever think about getting a walker, do you have the deck assist on the walker Tank as far as lifting the deck up and down, or you used to use the pins?
Depends.
Dude, you don't have that deck. You got it, man. You got to get that.
Got to. I stuck them on every one
Yeah,
of
that's
mine
what-
after I got them.
Yeah.
I stuck them on every one of them.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, I think I think you told me that
Cause
one time
yards
before.
Well, yards change. You know, I might cut
Yeah,
it at 2.5.
they do.
I might cut this other yard at 3. I might cut this other yard at 325. And man, it's just a click over and raise up and down them chains on both sides. Now I've had the chains wear out and break, and it's a booger getting them fixed or whatever. Have you had any problems with them, Chad?
One time, one of the connections came off, but I mean, I was
Yeah.
just
Popped it back
put
on.
another bolt or whatever, But yeah,
Yeah.
they've been super reliable. Now, I have had the dump assist. Do you have the automatic dump Tank? The button that can
No,
lift off?
I get out and lift the
Well,
yeah, I
think
just
that's
get out
good.
and open it up and lift it over.
I've had those, and they seem to tear up fairly fast. They don't last very
Yeah.
long. They're useful, just like the deck
Yeah.
thing, but
Yeah.
they seem to tear up. And I recommend not getting that. Just get all.
I
Even
have-
though it is convenient.
I've had my walkers a lot longer than y'all. At the beginning, the buzzer would work inside the hopper and let you know it's time to fill up. But then the buzzer would stop working. I kept running.
Right, yeah.
You can listen and hear how the motor sounds when it's full.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before it even fills up and gets stopped up.
And then the
I've
grass
learned
starts-
over years to figure.
The grass
It'll-
starts
it'll-
coming out the end there where the
Yeah.
chute is. So
Yeah, you'll start having blowout too
Yeah.
once
yeah,
that chute
yeah.
gets clogged up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
now
it
you're
sucks
talking
getting
about
that clogged up. God.
you're talking about the deck assist. I plan on getting all that, but right now what I'm doing is I have a 10-foot trailer, and so what I'm doing, I'm backing my walker up on the trailer, lifting the deck up, folding it up like I'm gonna change the blades, and then I'm backing my 36-inch up on there with it. So
Yeah.
if I'm doing all that, it's not gonna hurt me to change the pins and all that good stuff while I'm right there anyway. So it's it'll wear you out, but I mean,
Yeah, talking about the
Baby steps, Chad.
Navigator. Yeah, those the pins on the Navigator were boogers. It seemed like they were really hard, and they would end up. It would get to where you'd have to put WD-40 on them pretty much every day just to get them to slide out without really having to try to jerk to get them out of there, out of the holes. But that Exmark never came up with that deck lift like Walker has, which is another huge advantage. Yeah, you'll love that deck lift Tank. It's only, I think it's like $500, Lee, $500-$600.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing that. I'm planning on doing that, and I'm also planning on having the high dump installed once I get I'm gonna get a dump bed for my truck, and once I do that, I'm gonna have the high dump that way. Because what I'm doing right now is if it gets full and I don't have nowhere to dump, most of my stuff is on site dumping, but a lot of it I have to haul it off. And so what I do is I take those I call them, Buster calls them peanut bags, but also it's like a bulk seed bags, what I call it. It's like those bags that you lift up with a forklift, and I'll dump everything in those, and I can throw like 10 of those in the back of my truck and get on down the road. But to avoid all that, I'm just gonna go with the dump bed sooner or later. But
Like
I
a
wasn't
dump
built in a day
insert,
either, so
like
Yeah.
an insert for your dump truck. I mean, for your truck.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? Don't
I'm
have
gonna get a different
properties
truck
with-
first though.
You don't have many properties with woods around them, Tank. I try to do that. If
I do.
can, just dump
I
in the
do.
woods and blow them, spread them out.
I
Yeah,
I do. That's the main thing I do. I mean, even like my neighborhood right now, I live in a populated area. I live in a HOA subdivision, but we still have places around here we can dump. Like there's a little bit of woods around here too. So
Look, you just
but
gotta
yeah.
educate. You just gotta educate your customers, guys, and let them know. And I know Chad does treatments and all that, but Tank, you gotta educate your customers. Tell them, say, look, grass clippings sometimes are good to tit into the yard and all that. It gives better nutrients. It gives it nitrogen and all that for the yard to grow up and everything. Same way with leaves. It's really good for the soil and all that. But I want to say too, you can't cut
but
under 3
we've had this
inches.
conversation before.
You can't cut under 3 inches and everything. It's because you live in them subdivisions and the HOAs. They go out there with a ruler and say, "Oh, we're going to find you because your grass is this tall." You know, that's a booger too, or whatever. But I cut a lot of my yards
That
around
and
3 inches. So 3 inches.
Yeah,
looks
you've
good.
also got a lot of HOAs. You've also got a lot of HOAs that require their residents
yeah.
to bag. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Dang.
If you're in this area and you ain't got bagging capabilities, you're gonna go belly up very quickly.
Y'all live in them high dollar areas, you know. Yeah, we're
I don't know
country
about all
boys.
that.
You're country bunkins over here.
There are some doctors and lawyers around here, but I don't have no. I that's not me. I cut grass for a
I've had a
living.
few issues this year. A couple of issues where a couple of these neighborhoods that are pretty strict, or HOA, they don't want you dumping anything or putting anything by the road unless it's the day before city pickup.
Oh,
There was
wow.
one instance where Cam, the guys were mowing a yard and they dumped on a Friday. They came the day before, so the lady was actually on me about they were complaining to her about the grass being out by the road. You know, I understand that. I didn't know, you know, when they came and the rules and all that, but she was on me about getting back over there. And I told her I would over the weekend to pick the grass up to keep them from getting them fined because they were going to get a fine. Eventually, they talked them out of it. And I went ahead and I think I ended up coming over there that Monday and picked it up. You know, but it's just, yeah, a lot of these neighborhoods, these HOAs can be pretty strict about stuff. So that's stuff you got to look out for in terms of dumping clippings and all that. Like I said, that happened to me this year, actually. So,
Wow.
Dump it in the woods and blow it flat.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this didn't, unfortunately, didn't have, this on a golf course, this neighborhood. So, yeah, they just dumped it on the road.
Yeah.
Or the guys did. And,
Yeah, we don't
take care of it later.
We don't have city pickup. We don't have city pickup, so we don't really have to worry about that. But now Augusta does, but Evans doesn't.
Wow.
But most of my customers, I'm upfront with them too. If you want your property bagged, as long as you have somewhere on site for me to dump, it ain't, you know, I won't charge you no extra.
It's a pain,
But-
man, having to carry all them clippings around. I mean, it takes up room in your
But
trailer too.
Yeah, but if I got to haul it off, you got to pay for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at this right here. Brandon said, I cut at 3.5, mostly weeds and fescue. No one here
Break it up,
bags.
Lee.
No one bags, and he's never seen a walker in person.
Where's he cut?
Where do you cut, Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon
forgot
comes on
where
my
he cut.
comments sometime.
Yeah. I forgot where he cuts that or where. You know, he was one of them that they ain't been getting a whole lot of rain this year. Everybody's getting rain all around them, but they have been a massive drought all year. Oh, VA.
Okay.
And let's see. Somebody said too, HOA, just dump the clippings on the president's yard.
I've got
they
some
won't take no
non-payers that would like to
clippings.
do that too sometimes.
Tank, I'm curious. Have you ever had? Now that's another. You're talking about dumping clippings. I've actually had neighbors of customers come out and complain about me dumping clippings, not on their yard or property, but on the customer's property. And they'll get mad. Neighbors will come out and start griping about not bagging it. One occasion last year, the guys working with me at the time dumped it without bagging it, and the neighbor came out and started griping at him. And that's happened quite a few times. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, you got to watch these Karens.
Dude, check this out, man. What's up, Van Green Lawn Care? You guys got a lot of HOAs in the U.S., not much here in Ontario, Canada. We got a Canada guy here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we lost Tank. I don't know how we lost Tank. They said his service is acting up because of the weather.
I may need to charge my phone here in a minute too, Lee, but I'll
Yeah.
let me stay on. But hey, I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You were talking about the grass heights and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I know Bermuda, you know, a lot of customers, I'm curious how you handle this, will come out that they want the Bermuda cut low. But really this time of year, you don't want to cut it super low unless you're really cutting it very often. Or if you have a real mower. Obviously, we don't use a real mower. But I prefer to raise that deck up through the summer and cut it thicker and higher. That way, when it gets dry again, when it's inevitable, it's going to get dry eventually. I know we're having a lot of rain, pretty good rain, you know, consistently, which is good. But eventually, it's going to dry out. And if that grass, that Bermuda grass is thick, it's going to shade the roots in the ground. It's going to stay greener. it's not going to brown up as easy. So yeah, typically I'll raise that canopy up on the Bermuda grass and cut it, around 3.25, sometimes 3.5 if it's thick enough, and that keeps it green longer, and it'll, keep it through the drought looking good. So that's
it looks. I'm 100% agreeing with you on that, because I hate a brown looking yard that you're cutting it and then you're in the dry season. Plus, if you got it raised up a little bit, as it's in your dry spell, just take down 1/4 inch every time, just when you're bringing it back down to level to get it and they're getting you to come out, just take a little bit off every time. They'll see it. They'll see the tire mark. They see the, it keeps you going.
Couple points. So the thicker that grass is, especially Bermuda, we're talking about Bermuda. If you got any low level level spots that aren't level or holes, assuming you know where they're at, it can kind of, you can go over those low spots or uneven spots and still going to look good and smooth. So the higher you cut the Bermuda, the smoother it's going to look if it's an uneven yard. Like, actually, we mentioned that earlier. Tank was talking about, cutting the yard with a walker when it was uneven, unlevel ground, but and it weeds the weeds out. The thicker that Bermuda is, it's going to choke the weeds out. You're going to have more weeds when that grass cut short. But you cut it higher. I'm sure that's with any kind of turf grass. That turf grass will choke the weeds out. I mean, it can't get through the canopy if it's thick, right? So it's going to be more weed free. So that's the big advantage I've noticed as you raise that height up. It's going to look smoother, cover up any kind of holes or divots or uneven spots in the yard, and it's going to choke the weeds out better. I'm sure you know that too. But
Van Green, you're welcome in here anytime you want. I appreciate you. Hope you're a new subscriber. I don't know if you are or not, but don't listen to Chase in the comments. You're more than welcome. Everybody's welcome into this community. So he's probably just getting at you a little bit, just seeing like you're lost or something. But hey, everybody's welcome in this channel. Everybody's welcome on the live. And man, we have a great time. You can learn a lot in this live. So.
Speaking of, has Chase been putting out videos? I haven't been able to watch everybody's videos, but
I think he has. I think he put one out. But like I said, I've been in Mississippi since Friday, so I haven't been watching nobody's videos here lately. I got to catch up.
Yes, I mean, man. I'll catch a few rays, and I've watched a few tanks and Ben occasionally, and I think I watched the gender reveal that you did. I guess that was your last video, Lee.
Oh yeah.
Watching that. But it's just hard, man. Obviously you got kids and a family. It's hard to, have
him and Chase are friends. They're in the comments now. They're friends. They're buddies. I guess that's one of his guys. I was like, wait a minute, dude. I never saw this guy on here before. Hey, I might have a new viewer, So I got you. Y'all keep at it then in the comments. Y'all are good. Man, we keep losing Tank, man. He's got that Lee Irvin internet there, Chad.
That's what I was about to say there, Lee. I was about to give you a hard time on that, but your internet section's been pretty good.
Yeah. I've kind of stepped my game up a little bit, Chad. I had to.
You been having some storms in your area?
Oh, yeah. We had rain. We pulled up today, and it done rain. The ground's wet. The grass is wet. We got water puddles. Like I said, I've been gone since Friday, and we already had rain again.
I got you. Well, that's good to get it consistent rain. As long as it's not just rain all day long for several days in a row, if you get, especially if it's in the evening, at least that'll mess your work day up.
Yeah.
But, hey, can I ask Tank? So is everything good with Brother Tank?
It's getting better.
Good, buddy. Good deal, man.
Getting better. Wi-Fi and work related.
Good.
I'm about to take this phone and smash it, man.
That's how I was a couple weeks back. The phone or internet?
Well, I mean, we do have storms rolling in, but I don't think that has nothing to do with it. It's been doing it all evening. I don't know what's going on. My wife and my boy, both of them say that theirs is not having a problem. I don't know what's going on. Might need a new phone. I don't know.
He said, hey, Lee, Chase said, hey, Lee, ask him what kind of mowers he got. Van Green Lawn Care, what kind of mowers you got? Put it in the comments for us. Let us know. You up in Canada? Let's see what kind of mowers you have. Hope it ain't World Lawns. Q810E. Look at that.
What is that?
John Deere. John Deere
That's
stand on.
Is
Ain't
that
you
the same
from
one
Canada?
got?
Yeah, he's from Canada.
That's an American mower.
Represent, dude. Represent to the fullest, man.
I'm just cutting up.
That's why Chase said, tell him to, what kind of mowers he got. You know, hey, man, every brand is every brand, guys. That's like talking about Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Hyundai. But, I mean, it's, you know, everybody's got their specific brand that they like, you know, what works for them in their business, what they use. And, you know, hey, that's, you know, we can get in a big debate on who's got the better one, who's got this. But at the end of the day, if it's getting your job done, you're staying productive, and you're making your money, who cares?
It really is. It's not the brand, it's your dealer. I mean,
It's
we all
your
know
dealer
that. I mean,
support. Yes.
if you got a great dealer, it doesn't matter what brand mower it is. That's what you're going to have to use, you know.
Mhm.
So unless you got multiple dealers of different types. But
He said, even though the mowers are made in Raleigh, you know, I think, what's his name? I can't think of his name. He owns a big channel, Doc. Doc's mad because they're supposedly going to Mexico or something. I don't know. He bashed on John Deere pretty hard one video, but hey, man, I'm dealing with Tri-Green through John Deere, and dude, I can't be any happier. Y'all heard my story, what they did for me. I mean, they had me up and running that day. They drove an hour and a half away, came back, 3-hour drive to get my part, to get me back going. But he was going to put me in a brand new one, but they had to put the GPS tracker on it, and he said it'd take a couple hours, and he called me and said, hey, would you rather have yours done today? I'm like, well, heck yeah, I'd rather have my mower than somebody else's. I know, I mean, my guys are used to my mowers, you know. The same day. That's good dealer support. And this time of year when it's raining and we're cutting like crazy, to get back the same day, you can't beat it.
You sure can't. That's a lost art anymore.
Yeah.
Lee, I was going to ask you, not tonight because it would be a long discussion, but I think a good discussion topic, especially if Ray jumped in here maybe next week, we'll be talking about skid steers, the full size versus mini skid, and we obviously all have experience with them. I think it'd be an interesting topic to discuss, you know, for people to listen to and all that. You know, I think we all have some insight. I know Tank, you know, rents out stuff fairly often. I'm trying to convince them to go ahead and pull the plug or pull the trigger on a mini skid. maybe next year, Tank. But yeah, I think that
within the next 2 years, Within the next 2 years, I'll definitely have one. But I'm curious about that too. I'd like to know how he got his feet wet with the mulching, man, because that's not a service that too many people offer. That's not. I mean, that's something in my area. I can't speak for Ray, but in my area, that's something that just came about here in the past 2 or 3 years.
Oh, it is.
And I'm wondering how he started picking up customers. I know he does the Nextdoor thing. He'll do video clips and post them on Nextdoor, but you've got to have a starting point before you can do that. And I'm just curious how.
A lot of it comes from his customers too.
Yeah,
you know, when you got 100+ customers. Yeah. When you got yourself out there for 15, 16, 17 years, you know, they see what you're doing out there, you know, and they'll come to you.
The longer you do this, the more people are going to recognize you, know you. And I mean, that's how it works, you know. I mean, the longer you're in it, the better off you're going to be picking up jobs and referrals and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's what Ray is. That's what he's taking advantage of. Just people knowing who he is and the fact that he's been in the community doing it for a long time. I think that's a great point. You know, the longer the better.
And that's like with us, you know, we're commercial side more than we are residential, and I'm possibly picking up a shopping center tomorrow. You know, the lady called me and she said, I asked her how she got in touch with me. She saw my thing online and she said, I saw where you do a lot of commercial stuff or whatever. We're needing somebody that's commercial. So I'm like, you know, go and look at it, get a price on it. And then, you know, I got a couple landscaping jobs that we haven't even got to yet because it's been raining. We've been trying to get the list done. We got to do paver border for somebody. We got to rip out a whole front yard and replant and put pine straw down and all that. That's coming up. So
Lee, I think we mentioned it. You might have mentioned it in the video. I can't really remember, but I was actually able to secure 2 landscape/skid jobs for the fall this week.
Yeah.
One's a tree job, and I asked the customer flat out, "Are you okay waiting until the fall?" Another one was actually grinding some roots and putting down some sod, and he's same thing. He's fine with waiting until the fall. So that's something I'm doing now. I'm trying any of these miscellaneous type one-time jobs that might take up a good bit of time. I really don't want to do them now. I'm trying to see if the customer is fine with pushing it back to fall and the winter, which is something I think we all can do. I mean, are you doing that, or do they want it done now?
No, I got 2 concrete slabs at a Dollar General that we're going to do in the fall, and then that landscaping job, I'm pushing it back. I pushed it back a couple weeks, and then we got another one that I pushed back to the fall. So you're right, man. It's as long as you can push them jobs back or whatever, that just, man, it makes it so much easier. You're not so stressed out, because right now, guys, we're getting it, man. We're in the thicket of the lawn care. And that's what I tell my customers. Like, look, we got over 100-something properties now, and, I got to take care of them. Is this something that you got to have done right now? Because we'll try to schedule it on a Saturday and Sunday, and they're like, no, it ain't that busy. I might cut their property, or I might do something for them other than that. Can we get it this year? And I'm like, yeah. Can we push it back to October, maybe November, when we slow down? And if you have to, try to give them a little bit better deal. Just, notch a little bit off the top, just so they can wait till then. They feel like they're getting a good deal. They feel like they're going to get a better deal, and you secure work when you're slow, and keep your guys working.
That's the first question you need to ask. That's something that I definitely bring up when it comes to these one-time landscaping type jobs, or a tree job that I mentioned that I picked up Friday, actually. Can you wait? Can you wait? Because we're just so busy trying to keep these yards mowed and keeping people happy, when it's being hot, obviously. I'm trying to push back some of these jobs to the fall the best I can if people ask. So that's something you guys in the comments, and Tank too. I don't know if Tank's using that strategy. I'm sure he is, but
I do.
Try to get your customer, if they ask you about something like that, just automatically ask them, can you wait to the fall? Or the winter.
Yeah, or early spring. If you're in the, if you're in the winter and you say, hey, it's really not a good time right now, but can we do it in the early spring before we kick off our lawn care season? Because I have so many customers to get through on that. You try to talk to them about seeing if there's a time, hey, can we schedule it around this time or whatever? And a lot of times they'll love it, because a lot of them will be like, oh, yeah, that'll give me time to save up for it and everything. I'm like, yeah. Just save up what you can get, and then, you can budget it in. Now when you're going to do it. Let's budget it in and get it in for that time.
Right, exactly right, yeah. It's a win-win. You just got to.
For both of us.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I did it today. I got a customer. I've got she's got some trees that need to be trimmed up, some pine trees behind her privacy fence, and it's about $1,000 tree job, and I just ain't got time right now. For one, it's too hot, and for two,
exactly,
it's all we can do to stay above water with lawns and bushes. So
yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that too. A lot of customers will come to you. They know you're busy because it's summertime, but they don't realize you're as busy as you are. They see you in a certain neighborhood, and a lot of them think that's the only neighborhood you service.
Yeah, exactly. They don't realize how many customers we may have.
Yeah, yeah. They don't realize.
Like
they don't. Yeah, when like me, I'm doing 10 to 13 a day. They're like, how? I could just imagine the reactions you get when you tell people you're doing 20 a day. I tell them I'm doing 10 to 13 a day. They're like, how on earth do you do it? And I'm like, that's kind of on the low end. I mean,
yeah.
But a lot of people just don't realize it.
That's why we're working so many hours right now. We're getting like 14 hours a day, because we're pushing a lot of them to weekly, where I was only doing like Chad was saying, if I got 100 properties, I'm probably doing 50 a week, or whatever. Well, now I've moved majority of them to weekly. Well, we're doing like 75 a week. So we're pushing more throughout every day, trying to get done, or it might be even more than that. But, so it just, it's you just got to do it, and hopefully my guys have still been getting after it. I hadn't had to go out there. I have had to go out there and help them a little bit. If we get like 3 days straight of rain, I'll go in and go do some solo, kind of like I used to do and like you do now, Tank. A lot of the times, if you ain't got your boys with you, I'll go out and cut 7 or 8 yards by myself. I can still handle that, maybe 10 yards, if they're, a little smaller sizes or whatever, just to free up that schedule because we had a tinker in it with all the rain,
Lee,
Yeah.
I'm curious, you're saying you prefer to go out solo. Why not just ride with them? Can you have 3 in the truck?
Well, I like to go solo so I can push them in an area and knock out that area.
Yeah.
I can go by myself and knock out this area,
Right.
what we would have on the schedule, and then try to go through or whatever.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, trying to get your list done. Yeah. I really go
the
week
puzzle.
by week, man. I mean,
Yeah, I go week by week.
Most days don't go as to plan, so you got to be willing to move certain yards to different days and move them up, back. So it's really a week by week thing. I mean, I'm already thinking about my whole week. I've already got my plan for tomorrow, but I'm already kind of thinking about the whole week in terms of the customers, how I'm going to go about it. And that's how you really got to do it.
We got 80% chance of rain tomorrow. They said it's going to come in about 12 or 1 tomorrow on us. So, I got to schedule around for the weather, But in here in the comments, that Van Green Lawn Care, he was like, I don't get y'all guys with all this pine straw and everything. That's kind of unheard of up here in Canada. Why don't you talk about that a little bit, Chad? Because there you were this year. You started getting into the more of the putting out pine straw, buying it from a dealer, putting it on your property, and distributing it out, selling it a little bit.
I was in the spring, but I mean, I've turned down some straw jobs, mainly because I feel like I make more money just mowing and doing treatments and spraying and everything else, trimming bushes. And with the heat, again, I'm not trying to pick up a lot of jobs. So usually I'll have these customers that ask me about straw right now. That's typically I'll do it in the spring. We're trying to fill in because the grass hadn't really hit its stride yet in terms of filling in the work week. But yeah, I'm not looking to take on any straw right now just to keep up with the mowing like we talked about with scheduling the landscape jobs for later and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Obviously, that's what people prefer here, straw over mulch, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Here in the South, pine straw is a staple, long needle straw.
Yeah.
It is, man. And it might be weird in other places or whatever, but I don't do a whole lot of, there's a guy in my area, man, dude, he kills it. He buys it by the tractor trailer loads like Chad was talking about, and then he puts a lot of it out. I've never designed my business to do a whole lot of that. So we'll do some mulch jobs throughout the year. We'll do some pine straw, but we're not doing a whole lot of that. At the beginning, I was maintenance mainly.
My biggest mistake, Lee, is I haven't always priced it correctly. I've been low on the price. I think you really want to at least double what you pay. So if you're paying $5 for the bale, you want to charge at least $10 to put it. I mean, you buy it and put it out, so you're at least making $5 or double what you pay for it.
I don't do much of it. Yeah, I don't do as much of it like you saying that you can probably gain from it. When I do it, whatever it costs is time and a half for me to put it out, deliver it, buy it, and all that. So if I'm getting it for $10 a thing, I'm charging $10 plus $5 to put it out and everything.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
so
see,
that's kind of how I do it.
Well, a lot of customers don't want to pay what you feel like you should be charging, and that's been my fault. I have to just put my foot down and charge enough.
Yeah. You got to educate them. That stuff is high, man.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work.
I can tell you the main issue in my area when it comes to pine straw is a lot of the pine straw suppliers in my area, they actually go out and install the pine straw too. So they'll have 40 or 50 guys out there, which not anymore. They don't do it that way in my area anymore. They get it all from South Georgia and they'll roll it all up in rolls. You very rarely see bales around here anymore. And so they kind of cut out the manual labor part of it. They do it with a baler now. And they'll charge $8 a roll to sell it. And if you want them to install it for it, they'll install it for $10 a roll. And I'm like, man, I can't compete with that. So, but what I do is I buy it for $8 a roll and I install it for $20 a roll.
That's what I do. I've been doing 18 and 20. I'll buy it for $8 which was delivered. I was getting a really good deal, really good straw. Y'all saw the videos I posted earlier this year, and it's really good straw. The guy did a great job. I just haven't ordered any in a couple months now, and I'm not planning on it to maybe the fall. But I was paying $8, and that was him delivering it from Abbeville, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And I would charge either 18 or 20 to put it out, which I feel like I was actually making pretty good.
Yeah.
Mine's 20 for a flat rate, unless there's some prep work that's got to be done. If I got to do some prep work, I'm adding that in. I'm adding that to it.
I'm curious, you guys in your area, we've had a lot of issues with scammers coming around over the years, man. The police really can't do anything about it, but they usually come from Georgia. Tank, sorry, brother, but these come in.
They're all over the place here.
Are they? Well, they're here, man, too, and they're ripping people. They've ripped some of my customers off bad, man. I mean, the police act like they can't do nothing about it. I mean, it's crazy. We've got the neighborhood watch deal where they'll message our little Facebook neighborhood deal, like the scammers are back or the straw guys are back knocking on doors, trying to, essentially rip you off.
They don't take no for an answer either.
Oh yeah. No, they're what they'll do is they'll sell you on a really good price. And then a lot of people don't know how many bales it takes, so they'll put out like 20 and charge you for 200. And then they think you think you're getting a good deal for $5. Well, they really end up ripping you off bad because they put out 20 and charge you for 150 bales. That's what they do. They hook you with a really good rate, thinking, oh man, I'm getting a really good deal. And then
is it just me or is Chad breaking up?
No, he's good. I think it's yours.
So what they do, they hook you in on a really good rate. You say like $5, which it costs $5 basically for a bale now, and people don't know that. Think they're getting a really good deal, and then they don't know how many it takes, and they'll put out, like I said, 20 and charge you for 100. And some people know. Some people are like, man, that's
good night, Taylor. Appreciate you being here. First comment I saw tonight. You got to get in this comment a little bit more, guys, and let us know you're in here and everything. But, man, good seeing you. Good night, and have a great week, man.
Appreciate you, Taylor.
Van Green said they got a lot of snow scammers up there. Say they prepaid for the season and don't show up. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely don't have snow problems down here.
I missed everything that y'all just said.
You're having some trouble tonight. Just grab that phone. Hey, I think we mentioned it before. Grab that phone and just chunk it against the wall as hard as you can. Because I had a chainsaw one time that wouldn't crank. It was a 440 ball steel, and it didn't have no, pressure relief valve on it. So when it would kick back, it would crack your finger every time, and you'd be like, woo, woo, woo. It had like a 24, 20, a big bar on it. It was a big old joker. That thing, I was in the yard one day trying to crank it. Brittany was in the garage watching me. That thing wouldn't crank up. I got so mad, I jumped up and I just chunked it down the hill, the whole chainsaw. I turned around, she goes, you think that's going to fix it? I was like, I don't know, but we'll leave that son of a gun down there. I don't care about that chainsaw anymore. That was the hardest cranking chainsaw. God. I gave that to Ricky and said, here, man, here's your present, my mechanic.
Remember the old McCullough chainsaws?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, some of them are terrible that don't have that pressure release on it. My new one does. You can hear it, and you mash that button, it'll, ease up on you or whatever. But man, it hits that compression stroke, comes back down and cracks your knuckle. Woo!
Oh yeah, that's happened. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Lee.
Yeah.
How many people's in here, by the way, Lee? I can't see.
16 right now, but it's fluctuating from 16 to 20. So they're coming in and out pretty quick, I guess. Do y'all have a minimum for mulch or pine straw and straw is what Dalton asked. Now, what I pretty much do is I measure it out, see how much mulch is going to be or pine straw is going to be. And like I said, I times it by 1.5 or whatever the product costs. And that's pretty much through the board with everything that I always do. It makes it easier for me to figure it out.
Dalton, that's a really good point. And that's something I do with straw. I do minimum, I think it's 50 bales. If it's bales, 50. Of course, now since I got the guy that supplies me with the rolls, it's really good. I'm going to use rolls. I think it's a minimum of 20 rolls. It's just not even worth it.
Oh, that's what you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly. Yeah, I've got a minimum. Trying to think off the top of my head, but I think it's 20 rolls is going to be the minimum that I'll even show up to put out. Otherwise, it's not worth. I mean, you're gonna. I've had people asking me about like 5 rolls. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Unless you charge a fee for gas or whatever. You know what I mean? But
Vanguard spilling Van Green spilling the beans. He said $199 a yard install with cleanup, or $225 a yard without and prep extra. So there you go. There's you some numbers, but that's in Canada. You got to remember, guys, we got to know our areas. Each area could be possibly different. So somebody said that 440 is a sought after saw now. Yeah, well, he can keep it because I don't care.
For me, when it comes to mulch, I'm at $140 a yard. It costs me about $40 for a yard of mulch around about, and I want $100 to install it. That's before any kind of prep work.
Yeah. Black Smoke in here. Welcome, dude. 14 inches of rain south of me. Crazy damage. Man, they've been getting a lot of tornadoes up there where Black Smoke is and everything. So, yeah, man, he's been dealing with a lot of weather here lately. But what's up, Tar Heel? I think I saw your comment earlier. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And appreciate, all y'all in here giving us some good comments and some good questions that we can talk to y'all about and everything. And I love having these two knuckleheads beside me right here, too. They kind of help me out, fill in the gap on talking,
It's hard, man.
Yes, it's a pity party, Lee.
You need help sometimes.
Yeah, best live show in the game, and I need help or whatever. I appreciate you, dude, shouting me out on your videos about that and everything, man. I just love doing this. I'm glad that I started it. But as you watched in the beginning of this, guys, it is so much to set yourself up every day on a certain time that you're going to make it for a show, So, and I appreciate it so much that all y'all are involved, all y'all get in the comments because, guys, it's hard to, like I said today, we left from Mississippi at 11 o'clock this morning, drove all the way up to Fultondale, went and ate at Sticks, came back here to make it to the live. That's what I told my wife. I was like, what about the live? She goes, well, your lives ain't got to be, you can tell people that, I was like, no, they're committed. I'm committed, So, we need to make it to it. So, it's a lot of commitment. So.
Well, what you do, which is something I like about your show, Lee, and you keep it on topic.
Mm-hmm.
You keep it on lawn care talk where we can all learn from it, and the guys in the comments especially. And I just enjoy it, man. You get me fired up. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to go to sleep here in a minute. I'm fired up, man. We get the ball rolling. But, you keep it on point. You got a lot of knowledge, like we all do. Tank, especially myself.
Yeah.
We all got a lot of knowledge we can help bring to the table, and I enjoy it, man. I appreciate you staying on point.
Yeah.
Keep it on the lawn care talk, which is what I'm here for. Because I can learn as much as anybody else can just from people, whether it's Tank or you or guys in the I can't really see the comments now. I wish I could figure it out on my phone, but reading the comments, are helpful. You can learn from that, and just I wish, Lee, when we started doing lawn care, which for me, that's back in 2002 or whatever. I wish lawn care YouTube was around or a thing because I'd be a lot further along than I am now. I've learned so much and I started doing it, man. It's just awesome avenue to learn.
Yeah, I'm hoping Dalton and Brent. I think Brandon's been doing it a long time, but a lot of these new channels or new people coming in here to the comment will come back in 5 years and say, hey, you helped me out so much. Having your little lives and you and Chad and Tank and all y'all being on here giving us that good knowledge. Because like you said, we didn't have it 17 years ago. We learned our own way, and it was a lot of hard work, a lot of coming home, dragging your feet, and might have made $200 that day,
Yeah. I started watching, I guess, YouTube maybe it's probably about 5 years ago now. Mm-hmm. I know it's been around longer than that, but I've learned so much, man. It's helped me tremendously just since I started following other channels and live shows like this one. Just learning doing YouTube, it's really helped me
Yeah.
out a lot. And, obviously I enjoy it, the camaraderie,
Yeah.
and getting to know people like you guys and other people as well. So, yeah, it's just real helpful, man. I mean, yeah, Dalton was talking about, actually hinted at buying a new mower, at least in my car. Hopefully I'm not making him upset giving that away, Dalton. But, yeah, man, excited to see how he does going forward in the future. And the better equipment you have, the better off you're going to be if you're planning on doing this long term, man. You got to, I'm telling you, I know Ray talks about people being afraid of that payment. I understand that. Tank has mentioned it with the mini skid. I understand that, but you'll be glad you did, man. I'm glad I bought it, even though I don't get to use my mini that much. I mean, just last week I made $4,000, revenue, but I mean, still a lot of that was profit just on 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Just having it available to be able to take on some of these jobs with a mini skid, for example, is big. But having that mower that Dalton, I think, is thinking about buying, is going to allow him to be so much more efficient, get more jobs done, in turn make more money. So, yeah, man, I'm excited about watching Dalton.
Yeah, I'm excited about watching him too, watching him grow, see how he goes on further along. Hopefully one day he can do it full time like we are, and not have to work for the man. Because I got a buddy, guys. I met him for some reason. He was at the same place in Fultondale, which is about 45 minutes away from me, and we've been buddies since 3rd grade. And he worked for the same company, a blasting company, for 20-something years. He started when he was 18 years old, only job he's ever had, really. Besides when we was in high school, we worked at some restaurants or whatever together, like Jack's or something like that. But he's been with this company. He is the plant manager in this blasting company now. A week ago, they let him go and gave him. And it was they bought the company out a year ago. He's been in a manager. He's doing great. Don't get me wrong. He's a hard worker, go-getter. I mean, they're paying him like $120 a year. He had everything going for him. He's only 41 too, just like me. They let him go 1 week ago, gave him a $20,000 severance pay. I'm like, dang, dude, you got 20 years in. They should do some kind of retirement or something, They don't do that no more. Now they try to shut you off. Well, he's got and he was off work 1 week. He's got a new job now. He's a big wig in another blasting company. They gave him a brand new truck. I mean, he's not hurting is what I'm saying. But the point is, I like working for myself because I create my own future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How my future is going to be, how I want to, like you said, and you, Tank, invest in yourself, invest in the stock or whatever, to where you don't have to rely on the company man to do it for you, because you don't hear a whole lot of retirements nowadays in all these businesses, man. They let you go before then. They kind of screwed you over.
Can I bring something up, Lee?
Yeah.
In that line of thinking, so
yeah,
when you're working for other company, you're really helping them build. You're not building nothing. I mean, you can earn a good living, that's great.
Yeah.
But at least when you have your own business, at least you're kind of building something. So that work, it feels like you're really working towards something. You're really building something. You're seeing the fruits of your labor, come to fruition, so to speak. You're growing. Obviously, I'm getting ready to do the land thing with the building and all that. So that's been really cool for me. I'm finally starting to really see the fruits of my labor over these, last several years. It's really coming true for me. And I mean, I think y'all can say the same thing. The longer you're in it, it's just going to continue to get better and better. And I think there's a feeling of it's just a good feeling. I couldn't imagine working for another company thinking I'm putting in all this hard work in and long hours, even though you're getting a good living, but you're not building nothing for you. You're building their business. Yeah, exactly right. You're not, you know what I mean? So I mean that's
Tank, I want you to discuss a little bit about this too. To Tank, you 5 years ago you were working for somebody else apparently, and now you're doing it on your own. So you're building your own future now.
I got to get a charging cord, Lee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
My opinion on all that is, man, if you go way back and you think about it, when America was first started, man, when the Pilgrims came over here, all that good stuff, they all came over here to start a new life. They wanted freedom, 100% freedom. When you're working for another man, you don't have any of that, man. You're bound to a time clock. You've got a certain time that you got to be at work every day. You've got a certain amount that you're going to get paid every week. And most of your 9-to-5 jobs, you know what time you're going to be done every day. And yeah, it's nice to be able to plan around all that, but at the same time, there's not really a whole lot of growth. Now, I will say this on the other hand, right after or during the Depression, when Roosevelt created the TVA, you know, back in those days, that kind of created this little boom period where it was good to go out and find you a job with benefits and things like that, because you could build a good future that way. But here recently, COVID especially, that time frame during COVID, it really opened my eyes that 9/11, that was kind of the cutoff point for all of that, man. It's extremely hard to go out and work for another man and build a good future for you and your family, because the simple fact of the matter is prices, inflation, the economy is not the same as it was. I mean, the American dollar ain't worth a damn anymore. I mean, you go out, you find you a good job as a welder, electrician, plumber, whatever it is, or whatever, you know, you might start out at $25-$30 an hour. Yeah, but you get a 25-cent raise every year. That's not really a raise, is it?
No.
And, but when you're working for yourself, you can control how much you make. You control what you do and don't do. If you don't want to do a job, don't do it. Just tell them no. And you ain't got to worry about being fired. You know, if the economy goes to the tank, you ain't got to worry about some big company laying you off. And another thing to think about too, I'm not advocating for this, but there's a lot of folks out there that like to partake in the herbal refreshments. You can do that. If that's your thing, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend it, but there's nobody there to stop you. I mean, there's so many things to look at, so many advantages to working for yourself, and it really is the American dream. That's what this country was founded on.
Yeah. And CR, I get what you're saying. Chase over there at CR Lawns LLC, he's a firefighter. Yeah, I mean, they're still going to have, you know, he gets his 10-year in or, you know, something like that. He will have a retirement and everything because, you know, he's working, you know, for, you know, what he does or whatever. But like a lot of people in this industry or whatever, you know, like everybody's saying, you're getting the owners richer and richer. You know, it's like what they say. Hey, you know, I got a new truck. You know, your owner goes around and flashes a new truck. If you work really, really hard next year, I mean, if you really put in the grind and work really, really hard, I have 2 trucks. I have me another one next year. You know,
and we're gonna give you and your coworkers a pizza party at the end of the year.
Exactly. You know, exactly. And I'm like, what? You know, but you know, this is just one of the things that you can make money on. You know, we are a lawn care community. We're a lawn care creator, but like anything, if you get into heating, AC, plumbing, I've mentioned it before, electrical, do it yourself. You know, if you have to go and get your master's and you know, electrician or plumber and all that, then work for yourself. You know, same way with AC, you know, heating and units and all that. But like, you know, it's hard to work for somebody if you can build your own, if you're motivated, hard worker, and you can get out there and make money and survive. Guys, I don't have the greatest education at all. I know y'all see that from me reading. I know y'all see that from me talking. You know, I'm just a hillbilly hick living in Alabama, and I've created a business to where I don't even go out as much anymore. I got 2 guys that go out. They run my crew and everything. I'll go out and do some landscaping jobs. And that's what I wanted to touch base to, throwing back on what we were talking about before we got in this little rant, is I bought the Mini and the Mini skid steer and the Mini X for extra work. I already have an established lawn care business, maintenance. We're doing commercial and we're doing, you know, residential. I wanted something that was going to increase each year just a little bit. You know, if I can land 5 or 6, 7 landscaping jobs a year, that's a boost even more up into my business. So I've always looked at, you know, buying the piece of equipment for extra. I didn't look at it as I bought this and now I got to struggle to you know, to keep it going and all that. I bought it for extra. That's why I like how Ray talks about invest in your business, invest in your equipment, invest in stuff to make you top dollar, you know?
Also, something to think about too, man. I actually made a video on this one time and Ray commented on it. He agreed with me wholeheartedly. If you're if you're just planning on coming out here cutting grass and trimming bushes and that's it, it really is kind of hard to call yourself a landscaper, for one. And for two, man, sooner or later, somebody's going to turn the lights off of you and it's going to get cold. The grass is going to go dormant. The bushes aren't going to grow for 3 or 4 months. What are you going to do for money, man? Are you going to be that guy that has a certain amount of money put up for the wintertime? You're not buying anyone anything for Christmas. You better pray your anniversary or your wife's birthday ain't in the wintertime. You going to be that guy that ain't doing none of that. Yeah. I mean, you got to have other ways to make money, man. There's more to it than just coming out here cutting grass.
Yeah. Just like this guy right here, I came from a dead end job making $16.50 an hour. Now I make 6 figures a year, me and my wife. So him and his wife got rid of from working for the man, went out there, made their own thing, and now they're making 6 figures a year. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. It can happen, guys. This just ain't just something that, it's not rocket science that's out here. You just got to be a hard worker, willing, and, learn a little bit of knowledge about business, running a business and everything. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Even your boss at the big jobs or whatever, they make mistakes. It happens. You just got to learn from them and grow from there. So.
I know whenever I first left my full-time job, I put out a video on YouTube on my channel. The title of the video was, I left my 6-figure job to cut grass for a living. And dude, you should have. Yeah, that's probably one of the highest viewed videos I've ever put out. You should have saw the hate comments before people even watched the whole video. And they're like, are you stupid? What are you thinking? You're cutting grass? You was making $100,000 a year and you quit your job to cut grass? Are you retarded? You should have. It was hilarious.
I probably should do something like that because I was making close to like $40 an hour surveying and everything. And I had it made. They gave me a company truck. I could drive it anywhere I wanted to. I could go out, and it's like we were on our own bosses. We get there in the morning. They give us a list of stuff to do. I had 3 guys under me. We'd drive out, do all the surveying. And it was crazy because we charge billable time to these construction sites when we're doing surveying. So no matter what, we got to charge 2 hours minimum to go to these places. And if I get done in an 8-hour time and it's 12 o'clock, I would go home because I was done for the day. I'd go home, do my landscaping business, my lawn care business, and I'm still cream of the crop. I mean, it was perfect. So maybe I need to do a video like that I left a okay job to run my own thing and see if I can build my channel up or views.
I finally got a charge, Lee. I'm curious.
Okay.
Tank's perspective. I mean, I'm assuming you're glad you made that choice, right, Tank?
Absolutely.
That's hard to do, man. I mean, making guaranteed
a
year.
Listen, man. My wife and I, when I first started my business, I said it first time I got on this live with Lee. I was driving a truck. I had different kind of skill sets. I'm a certified welder. I had a background in industrial maintenance, and I had a CDL in my pocket, and that's what I was doing before I started mowing grass. I was driving a truck, and I was a local driver. I mean, the furthest I would go is probably 3 hours from the house. And but when COVID hit, man, it kind of exposed everything. And I decided, there was a certain medical procedure that was that the government was trying to mandate, and my wife and I, we were trying to get ahead of it. And my thoughts were I was going to go buy a truck and start hauling containers back and forth to the port in Savannah. And she was like, no, I need you home every night. So I was like, all right, well, back to the drawing board. And then she was like, have you ever thought about landscaping? She was like, you take a lot of pride in our yard. You ever thought about that? And my thought process was landscaping is seasonal. And I didn't know then what I know now. And I had some buddies that had their own business and everything. And one in particular, I called him and I was like, man, I'm just curious. Do you think that me leaving the company that I'm working for and going out and starting my own landscaping company? He said, do you think that'd be a good idea? He said, well, I'll tell you this, man, me and him worked together at Budweiser and we became pretty close. And he told me, he said, I'll tell you this, man. He said, when I left Budweiser, I was making $60,000 a year. And he said, last year I cleared $300,000. And I was like, $300,000 cutting grass? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, my mind's made up. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? And then, the first 2 years when I was part-time, I was doing it in the evenings when I got off work. And, I would go drive a truck for 10 to 12 hours a day and then come home. I would take my trailer to work with me. I would go straight to the properties, mow 2 or 3 properties in the evenings, and sometimes work until dark doing it. And then I always had Fridays off. I worked 4 days a week, and I would mow all day Friday, Saturday, and sometimes all day on Sunday. But most of the time I was done by about noon on Sunday. But it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work out. Mama Tank, she was scared to death to drive a zero turn until I bought the Standers, and I kind of forced her into that. And she helped. If it wasn't for Mama Tank, I wouldn't be doing this right now. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But it was tough. And that very first year, when I stepped out of Cisco, the company I was working for, when I stepped away from them, I was kind of forced out. And I'm going to tell you, man, that's the scariest decision I ever made in my life. There was a whole lot of anxiety leading up to it, and a whole lot for about the first month, because the 2 years prior to it, I started picking up customers in February and March. And that year I left my full-time job, it was probably the 3rd week in April before I started picking up customers, and that scared the hell out of me. And next thing you know, they just started rolling in. Now, some of those customers I no longer have anymore, but I don't regret a thing. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. That's really my only regret.
One thing I'm really curious about, Tank, as far as your overall mentality and your satisfaction in terms of your job satisfaction and in life, and what I mean, your pride and all that kind of stuff. Obviously you're better off now than you were then, in terms of just your mindset and all that.
Yeah, I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot happier. When I was working a full-time job, it got to a point where I hated my job so much.
I got you. Awesome. I guess.
I hated Sundays because I knew I had to get up at 2:00 in the morning, Monday morning, to go to work. I hated life. I mean, I was miserable. I was never happy. I missed so much. I mean, I could never go see plays.
You didn't have freedom. You really didn't have any freedom,
no,
did you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I was making good money. And at the time when I first took that job, that was the only thing I was looking at, was the amount of money I was going to be making. But it just wasn't worth it, man. And the job I left to take that job was not a job I could go back to. Once you leave that company, they wash their hands with you. So, and so yeah, I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot. And COVID actually was a blessing for me. It was a curse for a lot of people, but it was a blessing for me. It exposed a lot of things. It opened my eyes, and it allowed me to be able to go out and do my own thing.
I killed it in COVID.
I hear a lot of people saying that.
That's probably the best year I ever had in lawn care, was during COVID. Everybody was home looking at their yard, calling me, Lee, we need this done. Lee, we need this done. Lee, we need this done. I'm like, all right, let's go.
I think the main thing that helped me, though, man, I know a lot of y'all, like you two were just talking about it when y'all first started. YouTube wasn't really big back then. For me, YouTube's been here the whole time for me, and I had it there to help me the whole time. And there's a guy down in Savannah named Johnny. He has this thing called Blades of Grass Lawn Care, and Buster had his thing. I mean, it was several people that I was watching, just getting tidbits of information, and it really helped me. It really did. And I still don't know everything that I need to know when it comes to business, but it's like I tell everybody, man, you're never going to learn until you get out here and do it. You've got to. You just got to learn things the hard way. I mean, sometimes the hard way is the best way to learn.
Experience matters, man.
That's exactly right.
Does.
Yeah,
it really does.
But I got a question for you. Go ahead, Lee.
Well, what I was going to say is I was the same way, dude. I've been doing it 17 years, man, but 10 years I worked for a company and did the lawn business, and I always was scared to make that leap to full-time. So I get what you're coming from, and I was definitely that way, man. I mean, I got a family, we got to have insurance. My wife, she didn't work or whatever. She stayed home with the kids and all that. So I felt like, to support the family and all that, I need to keep them with insurance. Insurance is high. My business wasn't quite there, and it was getting there, towards around year 7 or 8, 9, 10, but like I was just scared to make that leap, and it was really hard, man, going in there to the office, telling my boss, hey man, I gotta, I gotta do this, because I had to sit down with my wife, man. We had a very, very, very hard conversation, because I told her I'm tired of working 7 days a week. I'm tired of working 7 days a week. Here I am. My business is doing well. I'm sending guys out doing my business. I'm not there, and I'm going to work for this guy. It's kind of like we're talking about making him money and everything. And I give him 100%. When I'm on his job site and working, the lawn care, whatever's going on, I told my guys before, if something breaks, go home and park it. I don't care. When I'm with somebody and working for them, I want to give them all that I got. And It just got so hard, and I just told my wife one day, we sat down, I said, look, either we're going to do the lawn care or I'm going to continue with this company doing surveying and everything. And they were paying me well, but around year 10, I went in there, gave my 2-week notice. He's like, no, you ain't. And he didn't want to lose me. I'm his lead guy. I'm his lead surveyor of 3 or 4 crews, And he's like, what's it going to take to keep you? You're still doing this little landscape lawn care business. What's it going to take to get you to get rid of that and stay out with me? I'll match what, I'll help you and match what you're doing. I was like, I don't think you can. He goes, what do you mean? I said, can you pay me $180,000 a year? Because that's what I grossed last year. Can you pay me $180,000? And that was, that back then. I grew my business a lot more since then. But he's like, I can't pay that. I was like, well, I'm sorry. I gotta go. Because that's where my business is going, and it's growing. It's growing. I'm picking up yards. I'm picking up where our business. My business was doing really well then, and so, but it was hard to take that leap, is what I'm trying to tell you, Tank. And I get what you're coming from. It is very hard when you got a stable, consistent job that's paying you in the winter, all year long, to go and jump into something like what we do here. So
that, and not only that, man, my wife and I both, we know what it's like to be flat broke and not have anything.
Oh, yeah.
And we both came from that. And I've been in the unemployment line before. I know what it's like, man, and it sucks. And once you've been through that, you'll do everything in your power to keep from going back to that. And so for me, it wasn't as hard for me as it was for my wife, because my wife didn't experience some of the things I experienced. I really do feel like I was called by God to do this. And I can go into that if you want. It's kind of a long story, but I really do.
We can save it for another one. We're getting on here pretty long ways on the line. We're 2.5 hours in.
I got you, but I really do feel like it was a calling from God to do this for a living, and there is a story behind that, but just trying to convince my wife that was the main thing, and then once she realized what all was going on at my full-time job. And once she saw some of the text message that was going back and forth between me and some of management and everything, and, your wife just doesn't realize everything because she's not there, and she's not the one that's seeing it. Nothing against my wife or anything like that. I love my wife to death, and but she just wasn't. It's hard to explain, really. It's hard to explain it without making my wife look bad, but really isn't nothing against her. But there was just a lot of things there. And then once I was able to get to a point where I could open her eyes, when I got to a point where they were forcing me out, it was a lot easier for me to show her that company's true colors. And that's when she got behind me 100%. And
that's awesome. Hey, they're your backbone.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And like I said, man, if it wasn't for those first 2 years with Mama Tank doing this with me, there's absolutely no way that I could have pulled it off, man, because
I'm the same way.
She was out there with me every single weekend, busting her tail and she was the lady on the trimmer, man.
I'm mine too. We already talked about it.
And I tell people all the time, I'm pretty sure I picked up the amount of customers I did when I was part-time just because they like looking at my wife. I'm pretty sure that's all that was.
I picked
But,
up all these doctors and lawyers because of it, them perverts.
Yeah, that's what I say. Bunch of dirty old men. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mama Tank's a very hard worker. She's got a good work ethic, and I owe a lot of it to her, man. She really was a savior through that whole time period for me.
Yeah.
But
What you got,
it was
Chad?
tough.
No, I just enjoy it because, see, I've always wondered, and I think I mentioned on your live show a few weeks ago, Lee, obviously I've never really had a real job per se.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I like hearing what y'all are saying. It's making me not regret not ever having one. You know, so I've always kind of
Yeah.
wondered what it'd be like, but, you know, again, I've never experienced a real job, quote unquote.
Well,
Even
it's
though
a less
Auburn got a
stress.
degree. Do what?
Yeah. It's less stress. When you're
Right.
working for somebody, you know, as long as they got a well-known business and all that, you don't have the stress. You're more comfortable in it because you're just showing up every day, you know.
Right.
You know, they're handling all the top ends that we handle now in our business. They're handling all that. We don't see that side of it and everything, you know.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
employees, so it's,
Yeah.
you know.
You bring up a good point, Lee. And I actually was talking to my wife about this today in terms of I think it's up to us. We need to do a better job of explaining to them, especially me, our employees, how business really works. You know what I mean? We're not, just because we might mow 25 yards in a day, it's not like all that money is going directly to our bank account. You know what I mean? Employees need to know about the
Yeah.
overall
Yeah.
business and
Well,
all the
it helps.
aspects and the expenses and all that, just so they don't think we're just raking in the dough, like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's
At the
something me and
very
my wife talk
beginning,
about.
at the very beginning, that's why I explain it to Roberto all the time now, whatever. At the very beginning, and Roberto understands now, completely understands. But like at the very beginning, he would go pick up some checks or whatever for me, whatever, and he's like, "Well, you made $700 today,
Yeah, yeah.
Lee. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
straight in your bank account. You only paid me $150. You know." But I'm like, you don't see the everything. I over the years I've had to explain to him, like, look, man, you know, we bought 3 weed eaters this year. You know, I bought 2 mowers last year. That was $30,000. You know, the fuel, I give him $120 a day for fuel. That's what we're spending right now in fuel, $120 a day. So I'm like, you're seeing what's coming out, you know, and you know what you're making and all that. So he's kind of grasped to it and saw. Yeah, because I mean they're working like 14, 15 hours a day, man. So like we're running through some mower fuel, weed eater fuel, everything. Yeah, it's about $120 a day. You know?
And the administrative aspect too. I mean, I'm in my office
Yeah.
now, just coming up with your plan for the day, writing everything down, logging everything. That takes me a lot of times 2 hours when I get home from working. Just doing that. So, I mean, there's time in that people don't know that. You know, they don't realize it takes that long. And all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Well, your minimum maintenance that you do, you know, we're sharpening our blades twice a week now, you know. So, you know, I'm down in there when they come pulling up and they're done for the day. I'll take it off the trailer, put it into the shop, and he knows I'm going to be there for another hour or so, sharpening blades, blowing out air filters, you know, checking all the stuff for the next day, you know. So.
But moral of the story, I think we all need as owners, we got employees, we need to kind of educate on what goes on outside of the actual work and the expenses involved and all that. Because a lot of guys, they just think we're just automatically millionaire just based on the yards we do. They don't take into account all the expenses and all that, like we just mentioned. So
I had to tell the guy I had working for me my very first year full time. I had to tell him because he did question me about it. His first year with me, I paid him $15 an hour, and he saw a check that I got from a lady. We did a loan. I think it was $105 for that loan, and he saw the check and he was like, "Wait a minute now. Yeah, I'm only making X amount of dollars. How are you making this?" And I had to tell him, like, "Look, dude, that Tank's Lawn Maintenance is making a certain amount every year. That money that Tank's Lawn Maintenance is making does not belong to Matt."
Yeah,
that's the way you have to look at it.
A good point, Tank. I'm always kind of hesitant. I trust like Cam, because Cam kind of understands how business operates and all that. But certain guys, I would be careful about them getting checked, you know, because you know what I'm saying, seeing the amounts and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of funny about that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was an eye opener for me. I learned right then that you can't always allow that.
Yeah,
and then I had to explain all that to him.
And I'm even hesitant on YouTube, I'm getting more wary about talking about numbers as much, all that kind of stuff. Because that was something that Justin guy that I had to deal with, the whole situation, the former employee, I think he would hear the numbers and all that, and then he would, he
Trying
would,
to add it up in his head.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit leery about talking about numbers and stuff like that on my videos now, not knowing if the guys are watching and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yes, I'm pretty careful and cautious about guys handling checks. Is what I'm trying to say. I prefer to handle all the checks and have them either people Venmo me, which a lot of people do nowadays, or Zelle. But as far as guys handling checks and be able to
Yeah.
see the amount, I'm kind of funny about that. I'd rather
Yeah.
not. I'd rather them not see.
Yeah, customers that pay me with cash or check, I always tell them too. If I have somebody with me, make sure you put that check or that cash
In an
in my
envelope.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get mine to put them in an envelope and everything, and that way they're only picking up it says Lee Irvin or Irvin Lawn Service on it. When Roberto
They're not
picks up
opening it
checks,
up.
a lot of time it's in an envelope. He can't see the price of it, especially the big commercial ones that I get in and pick up. They always put them in an envelope, so he don't even see what I'm making or whatever.
Yeah, I had an old man that I was mowing his lawn last year, and he didn't know any better, and he would give the check to my employee and be like, "Give that to your boss." And I had to have a talk with him, like, "Listen, man, not that I'm worried about him taking anything from me, but I don't need. That's going to open up a whole can of worms when they see how much I charge him versus how much he's making. That's going to open up a different conversation that I'm going to have with him. So,
Yeah.
make sure you put."
Francisco, appreciate you being in here. I saw your comment earlier. Appreciate your comment, but I do like this one right here. Guys, how do you pay yourselves? Do you take a little bit out each week as it be like a paycheck for yourself throughout the week, or how do y'all do it? And I'll explain how I do it. But
I Zelle Mama Tank every 2 weeks, a certain amount, the same amount every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I pay myself bi-weekly a salary. Essentially a salary, but it's paid out every 2 weeks along with Cam, a main guy. That's how I do things. So, yeah, I was just paying myself once a month, but since I started paying Cam bi-weekly, it's just easier for my accountant to do it that way. So, I pay myself essentially bi-weekly. Not a huge salary, but, it pays the bills and stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's not a whole lot, but it's
too. So.
Well, I'll be honest with y'all. All mine goes in an account, and we just spend it out like we spend it out or whatever. I've been doing it for 17 years, so really don't pay myself anything or whatever. I pretty much just, I don't know how I've been able to do it, but
you don't separate your business stuff from your personal. What? Are you kidding? Oh wow!
Nope.
Well, we might need to move on, brother.
Yeah, you don't need to be putting that out on YouTube, Lee.
I meant, that I get taxed and everything, and Roberto gets taxed and all that. Everything's legit or whatever. But, I do have a personal account and I have a business account, and I will put money in the business account and then put money in the personal account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm legit, guys, okay? But, before we get too technical with it or whatever, I just wanted to know how y'all, do it.
For me, it's too hard for me to keep up with. If I tried to go down that route where I do everything out of my business account, but it's just too hard for me to keep up with. So I Zelle Mama Tank every 2 weeks. It goes into mine and her joint account. That's how we pay our bills and buy groceries, all that good stuff. And then whatever's left, that's if I have helpers, that's what I pay my helpers out of, and the business profit and everything else that gets distributed out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I always make sure the help gets paid first, though. I hear that a lot, man. A lot of people just say, "Oh, I'm waiting to get this check so I can pay." No, man, pay your helpers first.
Oh yeah.
Tar Hill came up with a good one too. How do y'all do health insurance?
Mama Tank, she's a school teacher.
That'd be nice.
So Mama Tank still works, and you use her insurance through the company.
That's exactly right.
Okay. What about you, Chad?
Yeah, mine's around $1,000 a month. So my wife, she's a photographer. She's getting out of weddings, so that's the big. She's making really good money doing the weddings, but she's not gonna be doing that anymore. She'll still do family sessions, all that, but she's pretty much stay at home, taking care of the kids. So yeah, I got to pay insurance out of Luckily, it's out of my business
Business.
account. I can pay it
That's
through
what
my
we do.
business.
Yeah.
So, look, I think it's right around $1,000 a month, man. Which,
Yeah. Ours is like 1,200. We use Blue Cross
Is it?
Blue Shield. It's about 1,200 a month. So we take it out.
Yeah.
So good question. So, yeah. Somebody said monthly divide in out of corporate or corpse, and then we'll probably transition over to payroll soon. That's
Does
the
Ben
guy
Green have an S corp? I have an S corp. Is that what you have?
That's what
Lee?
he's saying. Yeah. He said he's got an escort and everything.
Yeah.
And then goes over to payroll, transfers out into the payroll. And
And I want to bring this up. I'm assuming, are you LLC, just a sole proprietorship tank, or how's your
Yeah,
how are you
LLC.
incorporated?
he
Okay.
said
LLC.
My accountant, are you S corp, Lee?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. The S corp.
You have to let my wife handle all that in, guys. She
I got you,
handles
brother. I got you.
the books.
But my account, I got an accountant that handles all of my stuff, and when he got me on the S corp, right? I mean, I've been an S corp for a long time now. His main selling point was the tax benefits on the S corp and the liability, completely separated from your personal assets and all that, having an S corp. And I think the sole proprietorship's the same way, LLC, right? In terms of separating your
basically the
business
same.
from your private. That way people can't come after you and sue you for your private stuff if something happens. But that's the main benefit, the S corp. But the tax savings were real, are pretty big, if you have an S corporation. At least that's how my accountant framed it in terms of doing that. And you can start other businesses, because right now it's Beeson Enterprises, the S corp, and DBA, Green Acres Loan Services. So, and I can, once I get rental stuff going on my land and all that, I'll just have to come up with a name, LLC, and I'll just have it under that umbrella, under that S corp umbrella. I don't have to start something completely new.
We'll start seeing all them investment things coming from overseas from Chad and everything.
But yeah, I mean, I'll have to have some kind of real estate thing or whatever, if I start.
Yeah.
Once I start, renting out that other side of the building I'm talking about. But
That's another thing. That's another good subject too for some of you newer guys down in the comments, like Tar Heel, Dalton, people like you. I don't know what you guys have, whether it's an LLC, S corp, whatever. But when you get into, if you want to get into the commercial side of things, you've got to have that.
You got to have insurance too, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have liability, and you've got to at least have some sort of sole proprietor.
And a lot of places will require workman's comp.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I don't know how it is.
We don't have to have workman's comp unless you got 5 or more employees. Is what
I don't have to have it. I have to have one employee to have workers' comp here in the state of Georgia. But yeah, I don't have workers' comp. But
okay.
I will get that sooner or later when the timing is right.
Mention something. You said I'm assuming that's an Alabama thing. I thought you had to have it regardless of if you have one employee.
Not in Alabama.
Have it? I've got some my realty company that I do a lot of rentals for. Yeah. They require workman's comp.
Well, some of them might require it or something, but everyone on my commercial side or whatever has never asked for a workman's comp or anything, So
I got you.
I guess if they did, that'd be one thing that I wouldn't be able to get the property for. You want to try to have everything you can, but if they're asking for that, I might be out of that bid thing or whatever. So
yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to doing commercial properties, you've got to have liability insurance and general liability with a two. A lot of them require a $2 million policy. Mm-hmm. And I know some of your doctor's offices and dentist offices, they require a $3 million policy, which is absurd to me, but whatever. But some of them do require that, and you've got to have an LLC or S corp, something like that. You can't just be out here chucking and trucking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It separates you a little bit from the other people anyways.
Yeah.
I'll get a lot of emails throughout the year, various times, asking for an updated insurance certificate or whatever, and have to, get that sent to them, just so they can update their records and all that. So yeah, that happens fairly often, with the commercial side of things or whatever. But yeah,
another thing to think about too, Another thing to think about too, what you like if you got a truck like what you've got, Chad and Lee, or if you start getting a enclosed trailer, your stuff's lettered up and stuff like that. Once you start getting into stuff like that, you better have commercial auto insurance. You better have it.
Yeah, that's
because they're gonna check you if you don't. If once you pretty much put a target on yourself when you put your business name on your stuff.
And you bring up a good point too, man. I'm gonna piggyback off that. So a couple years ago, I've mentioned about people around Auburn, specifically state officials and all that, checking for my spray license. Well, I actually got pulled over when my truck was fairly new. It was like a year old at the time, a couple years ago, and I didn't have any lettering or signage on my truck. I thought he was pulling me over to check my spray license. Well, it's because I didn't have identification on my truck. So you need, at least in Alabama, Lee, I'm sure you've got your ID, your name, your business. Yeah, they pulled me over. Luckily, gave me a warning, but they were like, hey, Chad, I'm going to get your information. Send me a picture as soon as you get the lettering on the side of your truck. Now, I got that little decal on one side of each one of my Zuzus. So, yeah, you need to make sure that you got your name and your business, all that kind of stuff. That's something I found out. I didn't have any idea that was a necessity, but it is. And you actually, in Alabama, Lee, do you have your professional services license? I got it right up here, actually.
Professional service license?
Yeah.
Is that what you just get from the courthouse and all that?
No, that's from the state.
From the state?
Yeah, once a year it's $175.
It's 110 here.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that. My wife might say we do or whatever, but I don't know.
But yeah, I got to get that to be able to spray, and I think it's any kind of service provider. Lee, it's $175, and
yeah,
I think this past year I didn't send it in time, and they sent me a notice and all that kind of stuff, and that was what that was about. I think that guy, I mentioned that to him. He said, "Yeah, I think I remember him saying you need that, and that's why you need to have your ID on your truck or your name of your business, so they can." When they drive by it, they can click in that or the name of the business and check if you have all the proper licenses and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I got checked for that a couple years ago.
Wow.
I also found out last year if you have a trailer that's longer than 18 foot, you're supposed to have a DOT number as well.
Wow.
I don't think you have to have that in Alabama, luckily, Tank, but I may be wrong on that. But I never had any problems with the truck and trailer. I had an 18-foot trailer for years.
Ray might know a little more about it than I do, but I was told that last year by a guy. He got pulled over by DOT here in Georgia going down I-20, and they popped him because he didn't have a number. But you also make sure you pay your property taxes on time, because if you don't, they will revoke your business license.
Wow.
In whatever county you're in. Yeah.
Van Green, next Sunday, if you want to hop on here, man, and shoot the breeze with us from one Canadian to a Alabamian, or
I gotta hear his dialect.
Yeah, come on in here, man, and join us. I usually ping the way to kick in here on the comments, and we'd love to have you, man. We like to see new faces on here, and see what it's like in Canada from what it's like here in the States, the lower states. So
I really would like to see Tar Heel or Dalton or somebody like that hop on too, man. I want to see one of those guys jump on, because I'm interested to see what some of the newer guys to the business is learning since I started my business.
Yeah, me too.
And that stuff always interests me.
It interests me because I'm not, and like Chad's been doing this since the dinosaurs apparently, but it's good for us to learn back on it, and it humbles us a little bit to know where we came from, and we don't want to forget, how hard it was starting and all that, because I forget about it. I'm 17 years in, man. Sometimes I forget, and it reminds me of stories back then of how I struggled and how hard these yards were to get and to do, So
hey, Lee, this is something we all can add for those guys you just mentioned. What's one piece of advice you give guys like Dalton and Tar Heel that are fairly new in terms of this game, in terms of this business? I'll go ahead and say, to me, it starts and ends with doing good work and getting Yeah, just doing a good job and getting used to using the trimmers and really making a yard look good. If you can do good work and you're willing to come out here year after year after year, you got that work ethic, you ain't gonna have any problems in this business.
Yeah.
Just show up, do a good job, and word's gonna spread. You're just gonna grow, grow, grow. But starts
Yeah.
and end with doing a good job,
Yeah.
getting good at what you do, learning how to really mow a yard. A lot of people just say anybody can mow a yard, anybody can weed eat. That's a bunch of hog crap. You got to get good at it. I mean, weed eating is a skill, and weed eating is something that's hard. You bring guys out here working with you, a lot of them don't have a clue how to really weed eat a yard professionally. So once you get that skill down, weed eating, assuming you obviously can mow and know what you're doing mowing with a mower, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, you're not going to have any problem getting work. But if you don't do a good job, you ain't going to get no work. The word's not going to spread. People aren't going to spread the word if you don't do a good job. That's my number one thing. I'm curious what y'all would say.
Mine would be consistent. Like you said, do a good work, do a good job, be consistent, have great communication with your customers and everything. Cause that's number one thing, man. Keep them in the loop of what's going on. Once you establish yourself and everything, try to get as quick as you can to better equipment and everything. If you are going to do this in a long game, the equipment, find you some dealers that are really good. Dealer support, like we said, is everything. Just that's my main thing is, I've always said, be consistent and give good communication, because I've worked at a lot of companies and the communication skill is terrible, and construction company or anything, it was all terrible. So that was my main thing.
You didn't leave Tank anything to say?
Nah, go ahead, Tank. There's something you can add in there, I'm sure.
I've got
you kind of filled it up at first.
I've got three things that are really important in my opinion, man. The number one thing is, don't forget why you started your business. And I have to remind myself every single day that no matter how bad it gets, it beats the hell out of punching the time clock. Don't forget why you started your business. Number two is, don't try to act like you're something that you're not out here, man. If there's a service that somebody is wanting, if you really don't know what you're doing, or you just don't have time to do it, or you don't have the manpower to do it, just simply tell them. Be honest with them. You're going to get a lot more respect from people telling them the truth.
Tell them no.
Than trying to be a big company when the reality is you're not. And number three is, man, be extremely careful what you watch on YouTube, because there's a lot of bogus information out there. You need to take information from guys that have been doing it a long time, people that have weathered the storm, and nobody else. I mean,
hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tank.
You're good.
In terms of taking advice from just anybody on YouTube, anybody that says lawn care in this business is easy, don't listen.
Absolutely. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Do not listen to it. I mean, it's easy if you're only doing 10 yards or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no offense to anybody that's just doing it part time, but that's not hard. But when you doing it on scale and you're doing 50 plus yards a week or whatever, it's not easy. You got to deal with all the factors. I just cringe at anybody that, these videos where people come out and say, it's 2026, you should start a lawn care business now. And they make it sound so easy and simple. And like, they don't bring up anything negative, like, in terms of the heat and dealing with customers and all the issues that we face. They don't talk about that. They just glorify it like it's just such an easy business and so great and blah, blah, blah. That's just not the truth, It is fulfilling and it is, but there's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of things you got to deal with, headaches, especially employees. I mean, my God, I'd be very wary, like you said, Tank, anybody that acts like this business is so easy and just rainbows and sunshine, man. It's just not the case, I mean, it can be great, but there's a lot of things you got to consider and a lot of things that can happen that a lot of these bozos don't mention,
and someone that's under the impression that they're going to be able to get out of the field in 5 years.
Yeah.
When you got it,
but the chances are so low. I mean,
they're slim to none, man.
Yeah.
When you got a guy that's getting on YouTube for the sole purpose of bashing somebody else that's been doing it for 18 to 20 years. People like that, you really need to stay away from. They're on YouTube for the sole purpose of having clicks. That's it. They're not on there trying to document their journey. They don't have a servant's heart. They could care less if you get out there and fail or not. So be careful who you watch on YouTube, man. There's a lot of bogus information out there.
And I mean, heck, I've even heard some people act like finding employees nowadays in this industry is just not hard. It's like it's just so simple to go find guys off the street that haven't even done it before and just put a weed eater in their hand and they're just going to go right at it and not miss a beat. You know what I mean? It's just it couldn't be further from the truth, man. I mean, especially this time of year. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not referring to any one particular person, but yeah, anybody that just glorifies lawn care and says it's easy and anybody can do it and start a business today, what are you waiting on? And without really knowing what they're talking about and got the experience under their belt, take their advice with a grain of salt for sure. Because they just don't know. They don't have the experience like we talked about that guys like us have and Ray and people like that have dealt with the same issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean we're not doing well, but it's not easy to do as well as we're doing, and get to this point, so.
Yeah. Lawn care is something. It's something that you really do have to enjoy doing to make a good living at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people like you, Tank, all, us or whatever. I feel like, y'all should have more subscribers and more followers than you have, same way with Ray, because he's showing you every day. He's out there in the grind. He's actually working. He's showing you what you can do or whatever. So, and with this live that we got going on or whatever, we're trying to teach y'all, giving y'all good, advice and all that kind of stuff. And I see we got somebody in the chat that don't understand that, which is fine. We got our first hater in the chat, which is cool. I bring them all in, it doesn't matter to me, I mean, he feels like we don't know nothing and we can't cut 30, 40 yards a day if you're doing small yards or whatever. We're no gladiators, but hey, man, we're out here showing it. We're out here, you see in the videos what people are doing.
Who's this hater you speak of?
This guy,
some user guy or whatever. Well, it's fine, man. Hey, come in here and debate with us, and hey, come on the channel, pop in here on the live and tell us what we're doing wrong and tell us something that we can fix or whatever that you feel like that
I guarantee you he won't
somebody hurt you back in the day and now your business is not where it's at. Maybe we can give you some advice on picking it up and getting it back going. So I'm for everybody in here. Everybody knows that.
Lee, when I first started doing the YouTube, the haters, and I've never really had many, but every now and then I have somebody come in and say something hateful. It bothered me about it now. I don't care. It really doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, man, I agree with you. It's all about open discussion. But tell us if you're hating. I don't know what he's hating on us about because I can't see. But yeah, get on here and tell us where we're going wrong.
Well, that comment he said you probably have slaves and can't even play them. That's just a contradictory comment right there. Because if you had slaves, you wouldn't be paying them. That's what they are. They're slaves.
He said I got Mexicans working and, working for me or whatever. That's what I got. I got Mexicans working for me. Hey, my Mexicans don't take anything from the government, guys. So if you think they're over here, taking stuff from the government or whatever, maybe you need to watch more of my channel and see who Roberto actually is. Roberto is actually a really good guy, and I pay him really extremely well, and he does a great job for me. Everybody in my channel, everybody that's watched my video a long time knows how good Roberto is, and they want him. People are wanting to get him from me, but he's a great guy.
Now, hey, Lee, it's something I do. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but
yeah.
And this is fine. I mean, as a business owner, you got guys that want to work 60 hours a week. I don't have that. I try to protect my guys in a way to where I'll take a lot of the workload and put it on my shoulders so they don't have to work as long. I'll work 60 hours a week, pretty much every week, at least, just to make it easier on them. I mean, that week that I had the really good week, last week, I guess, when I did over 12, They work like 35 hours the whole week. I probably work 60 to 70. Both my full-time guys work like 35 hours. So they're not even getting 40. But that's because I try to make it to where I'm not overworking them to where they won't show up the next day. So that's things I got to worry about. I'm not lucky like Lee. You have guys that want to work 15 hours a day. That'd be nice if I had that. So,
but I'm not slaving them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they get their breaks throughout the day. They, you know, get their lunch break, and I pay for their lunch break. I mean, they can sit down for an hour and they get paid for it. It ain't like you know, most companies, you know, you go work for somebody or whatever, they're gonna stop your time for the hour and then they'll start it back up. So you don't even get paid for that lunch break or whatever. And if I'm with them and everything, I buy their lunch too. So they're getting paid and getting a free meal, and they get water and ice in the truck and everything. I mean, this guy he don't know. I mean, that's fine.
I'm
it just shows he don't watch my channel.
I'm not sure if he's talking to you or all of us or whatever. But anybody's slaving, it's me. I mean,
he's got to be talking about you, Chad. You're the only one that's got the money for that kind of stuff. The richest man in lawn care.
I wish.
Maybe he don't know that I buy him pants and shirts and all that kind of stuff, you know. I'm a giver, you know, but
yeah. And not only that, man, you said it last Sunday when we were on here that Roberto made $1,200 that week, man. There's not too many helpers in lawn care that make that kind of money.
He's making it consistently for the past couple of months is what he's been making because they're getting their hours in. That's what they want to do, you know.
Never pay salary, Lee. Never pay salary.
Yeah, never pay salary. No, I told you I ain't never doing that. I told you that was a bad get-go and all that.
Well, I got a buddy of mine. That pays his two guys' salary, and it's actually worked out for him. You got your good, your bad, and everything, though.
You know, Jay Myers, like you treat your guys like your family or whatever. I do, man. I go to his children's birthday parties and everything. I might be the only white guy there, my wife and my kids, and they play with his kids and everything. We might be the only white couple there or whatever, but he knows, you know, we care about his family and everything like he was one of ours and everything. You know, he knows we love him. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of ours, you know. So it ain't like I'm a slave, you know.
My biggest problem, Lee, is I feel like I'm too nice a lot of times.
Yeah,
I'm
that can happen.
To make it easier on them and help them out. And hey, let me tell you this. So how would y'all feel? So this past Friday, Cam called me after I dealt with my truck situation, the battery and all that. So I went ahead and did another yard, got done around 6. And he called me after I got done with that yard. I called him because he wanted to chat with me about something. So I had him a list. They were on the back end of the list about 3 o'clock, and they had like 3 more. So they pulled up to one of the yards, and they had to mow it, and there was like 5 bushes they had to trim. When they pulled up, Cam let Jeff know, JR know what we had to do. And as soon as he mentioned trimming bushes, he was telling Cam that he was getting ready to get somebody to come pick him up because he was tired and worn out. And it wasn't that many bushes. And he literally threatened that he was going to leave. So Cam's like, no, man, let's don't do that. Because I told Cam before that, I was like, we need to really get these last 2 done. So he's like, look, don't call anybody to come pick you up. I know you're tired. We need to at least get these last 2 done because Chad mentioned getting this one particular one done. Actually, where the truck broke down because she was having the open house over the weekend. So, yeah, he had threatened to have somebody come pick him up because he didn't want to trim no bushes, even though there wasn't a whole lot to trim. I guess he was just tired and all that. Cam said he was kind of dragging all day long. And, yeah. So how would y'all handle that situation? How would that make you feel if a guy said, oh, I'm going to, because he didn't want to trim no bushes, he was going to have somebody come pick him up and leave.
Is that the first time that's ever happened?
It was super late.
Is that the first time that's ever happened with him?
I've had some issue, and we've had some actually this year. I came close to firing him actually a few weeks ago. We kind of got things smoothed over, so to speak. And, I feel like we've been good, but that really ticked me off. That he did that.
I don't know, Chad. I mean, if you've had problems out of them before, that right there for me would be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Just because of simple fact, that's a cancer in the truck. You don't want that with your crew.
Yeah, I know, man. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
I came close to doing that a few weeks ago. I decided not to because I'd rather have him than nobody.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like you find anybody.
That's what I'm getting
It's hard
at
to find
too, but
somebody
you
right
can't.
now.
It's hard.
It's hard to find good help.
Yeah, it's hard to find good help, but it's hard to. You don't want to feel like your guys are, you're relying on your guys and all that kind of stuff. It's a balancing act and everything, with it. But like, you just can't let them do stuff like that. You got to pull him to the side. Hopefully, you're pulling them to the side and talking to them one on one, not in a group situation where you kind of throw them out. So,
well, I thought about, because we're only doing one truck, obviously the other one, starter situation or whatever, not knowing what's going to do if I try to crank it. So yeah, I thought about actually telling him to stay home and I'll just have my son work instead of him tomorrow. But I don't want to. I'm going to talk to him, like you said, Lee, tomorrow. I'm just trying to. It's kind of a delicate situation. But yeah, that really pissed me off that he pulled it. It wasn't, like I said, it would have taken him maybe 15, 20 minutes to trim those bushes. It wasn't a lot, and it was a small yard to mow. But he literally threatened to have somebody come pick him up because he didn't want to trim any bushes. And Cam said he didn't really have to weed eat or do much. Cam said he did most of the weed eating all day long before, so he hadn't even really had to do a whole lot. But he started as soon as he pulled up that yard. They only had 3 more to do. It was 3 o'clock, and he threatened to have somebody come pick him up because of that. Yeah, and luckily Cam was able to kind of settle him down and tell him, hey, listen, we need to do these last 2, so just stay with me. Let's do these last 2, and that'll be it. So they ended up skipping that yard because of that whole situation. And trust me, I was pretty pissed off. I thought about, obviously calling them up, but I was, I'll handle, I'll let cooler heads prevail and ask them about it Monday, which is what I will do. Because we're going to have to do it tomorrow. That would have been a job we would have to worry about tomorrow doing. And I already notified the customer, let her know that instead of, been there Friday and getting it done, we're going to have to do it tomorrow. And she's pretty laid back and lenient. She's not one of these going to get all bent out of shape about it and all that kind of stuff. So I knew that. So I got to thinking about that too. But yeah, Cam is an absolute legit guy, and I appreciate him having him lead a truck. But yeah,
look, that guy's running his mouth about 6 figures or whatever. But look, you see that number at the top right there? Can y'all read that number right there? 134,000 and something. Can y'all read that?
Yeah,
barely. Yeah,
you can see it. That's what I've made already so far this year. And he said, I'm not doing 6 figures with 2 guys. And I haven't even put in for last month's commercial account.
I know a guy that's making.
He's running his mouth on there or whatever, and that's fine and dandy or whatever. But I'm not going to be. I'm the real one. I'm going to show you and tell you what we're doing and everything.
Hey, ain't no reason to be scared of numbers, buddy. Just numbers in the day, right? I know some of the older fellas in lawn care, they don't want to talk about numbers, whatever. I guess they're scared, but I mean, it's just numbers in the day. Numbers is business. I mean, you do want to be kind of careful, like I mentioned before, but who cares, man? If I'm making more money than you or someone's making more money, I don't. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just
I ain't bragging.
I'll talk about it because it ain't spectacular for me.
But look, I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just saying, hey, I'm real. My channel's real. I'm showing y'all, hey, you could be there. You can do it, but you got to put hard work in and all that. But, you got people on here. They're like, oh, you're a liar. You're a piece of crap, but that's fine. I'll he can go somewhere else and all that kind of stuff. It's no big deal, but bring him in here, and hey, let's see where he's at. Let's see what he's pulling. Let's see what he's talking about,
Well, I told you what my buddy's making this guy two helpers, the guy that pays his guys $5,000 a month year round.
Yeah.
He's turning
$500,000 a year.
Yeah, he's doing a little over $500,000 a year with his 2 guys. And I've also got another friend of mine. He doesn't do maintenance. He's just strictly landscape and hardscape, and he's by himself and hires temporary help as needed. And he's turning $250,000 just in materials. I'd hate to see what his overall revenue is.
Mm-hmm. But I tell you one thing, though, y'all are some troopers because we've been on here for 3 hours and 14 minutes. And gosh, y'all always push me. Y'all always push me on these lives. And we still got like 17, 18 people in here. Good night. Y'all need to go to bed.
Yeah, I am going to bed.
Doing a good job, Hater. We must be.
Yeah. We're not doing too bad, are we? I've watched other people's lives, and that's what I was telling my wife. They got like 10,000 subscribers, and they got like 5 people in their lives and everything, And I'm like, that's fine, whatever, We're pulling numbers like we got up to like 27 today or whatever, but it's fine. I'm not flexing on them, or am I? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, we're talking real stuff in here, and a lot of new people and a lot of people in this, they want to know, They want to be educated and everything about the lawn care community and all that. And you two guys do it, and that's why we're in here to give some of our knowledge out to people that are growing. Do what?
So you make it fun too. You do a good job. You're the leader of this show, so.
Yeah, man. You got Lee over there. You got Lee over there. He's the boss man. You got Chad. He's the rich man, and then you got me over here. I'm just the looks of the operation. That's all. I'm the best looking man in lawn care.
Yeah, let me shrinkle my head a little bit since it's so big. Try to bring it in smaller and everything. No, I love both of y'all to death, man. It's been great, guys.
I'm having a good time.
Kind of funny. Y'all might freak out a little bit. Have you ever seen a guy that can spin his eyes really fast?
Do what?
What? Spin his eyes?
Oh, no. You can do that? Look at that. Hidden talent.
Have you ever seen that? Isn't that cool? I've been
crazy.
To feel that for a while now, and I finally did. So.
I'm scared to try something like that. Because I'm blind as a bat, and I don't want to do anything that may damage my eyes any more than they already are.
Yeah, my ears are shot, dude. I have hearing problems because I played rock music when I was younger and 18, and we would travel a little bit and everything. But we used to practice in probably like a 10 by 10 concrete building, and dude, we were jamming out, dude. I ruined my ears, man. My ears are terrible, and on the mower all the time, guys. I mean, that loud engine on your back right there behind you, man. Wear hearing protection. Put you some headphones on or something like that. I definitely encourage everybody to do something like that. I know I see Chad in his videos all the time. He's got his big earmuffs on and everything, but I'll wear like the small ones or whatever, but because I wear my cowboy hat and stuff. But definitely
never took you. Ears, man. Never took you as the rock and roll type, Lee. I figured you was more into gangster rap or something like that.
Now, gangster rap back in the day, man. I was hard rock and then gotten into southern rock and everything. And probably up to about 5 years ago, I kind of just really hadn't really played anywhere or done anything or whatever, just kind of, I knew I wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
It took me
time. I tell everybody every day, if I could pick a guitar, I'd be in Nashville right now.
Yeah. I love playing, man. I do. I just hadn't played in a while, but I do. I really enjoy it.
Oh yeah. Well, fellas, I got to get off here, man. I got to hit the cycle.
We need to get some shut eye.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for being on here, man. Great show again tonight, man. Hey, we'll be back again next Sunday. I think there was that Van Green lawn care. Yeah. Maybe come on next Sunday with us. Maybe show us a little difference. Yeah, Tar Heel needs to get on here. Dalton needs to get on here. Brandon needs to get on here. I wouldn't mind having Jeff Lawn and Landscaping on here. There's a lot of y'all in here, man. Chase can come back on here. So, guys, man, bring it in here, man. Let's keep these lives going. And, just know that you're setting yourself every week at a certain time to be here. And I'm so glad I'm still being able to do it. My schedule's worked out for it and everything. So, appreciate it.
Enjoy it, Lee.
Enjoy it. Thank y'all so much, guys.
Yeah, guys. Y'all have a great week.
Yep. Have a great week. And we'll see y'all next time, guys.
See you.